Alright guys, Velam here, back, another live stream. Apologize for super fucking late start. I have literally nothing up right now, so I gotta get that sorted. But just so much. There's so fucking much. Dude, there's so much going on right now in terms of reality TV. It's so fucking stupid. But yeah, we got, obviously, pretty great Survivor episode. I think up there, like, best New Era episode. Again, just incredible episode of Survivor. BB Can, a lot of crazy stuff going on there. Watched All Stars 4, which was good. Still good. I watched the first 2 episodes of Circle. I was not able to watch all of it, but it's fine. What else I watched? The Unknown Island happened. Amazing Race happened. I watched, which actually was decent also. Probably, maybe, like, best or second best episode of the season, even though it wasn't that great, but, like, still goodish. Yeah, a lot going on. Yeah, we also news on All Stars 5, which is, not New Game, fuck me. Which is, not great news. That is if it is All Stars 5, which, like, Gamer seems very confident it is. Wait, why did I just load the autosave? I'm a fucking idiot. Whatever. Happy Venus is on. I mean, yeah, I mean, like, it's funny because, like, Venus, like posted, like, earlier today that, oh, I'm not watching this episode, and I think, like, that made, like, a lot of people suspect that, like, she gets voted out this episode and she spoiled the episode, which, like, didn't happen. But I will say, like, Venus is very much like getting pretty close to getting her, like, stipend taken away, isn't she? With, like, how much she's been talking online. I did watch Star Quebec. Oh yeah, that too. I watched episode 11 at least. I didn't watch the other ones. Which, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Probably the best episode of the season, for whatever that's worth. Still not, like, great in the grand scheme of things. Like, comparing that to this episode of Survivor 46, it's like a massive, like, difference there. I have not started Physical 100 yet. So this is where I'm at. This is where I'm at with, like, working on things. I am pretty much done prepping videos. Outside of, obviously, like, watching shows and that sort of stuff. Like, in terms of, like doing research, creating, like, the content for videos that aren't retrospectives, making thumbnails, that sort of thing. I'm pretty much done outside of my Celebrity Big Brother ranking, which I'm doing that for some reason. I don't even know why I'm doing it now, but it's like, fuck it, I'll make it now. Then again, I realized today that, like, if there is a celebrity season early next year, that kind of fucks me over, but it's like, whatever. I'll just make it now. But yeah, so I think by the end of tomorrow, I'll be done prepping things to where I think on Friday, I'm going to watch Vanuatu. Like, start watching Vanuatu. With the intention of just getting it done as quickly as possible. I'll probably just go all in on watching Vanuatu. Which, we'll see if I can get it done by next stream. We'll see. Then, yeah, it's ranking players. Oh, hey, Dave. Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, I don't even know who's number 1 straight up. Like, I just, like, never really thought about Celebrity Big Brother, and, like, ranking players, so it'll be interesting. I am, like, using my Big Brother US list as, like, the guide of, like, comparing people. But anyway, Avery taking out 2 over close to Ally. Yeah, Avery, like, it's so fucking weird how Avery, again, from my assessment of her during the mid-season power ranking to my assessment of her now, is, like, so radically different. It's like, what happened? Where, again, it felt like she had, like, a mind of her own. And then now she just doesn't. Now she's just, like, doing whatever Victoria tells her to. So that's a shame. They set Venus to be Tevin's downfall, but she's the one who orchestrated is crazy. I mean, is it that crazy? Oh. I do find it funny the Liz of it all. Because I was seeing on like the Edge community, people were talking about how Liz is winning this season. Like obviously like not like the majority of people, but like just like a random post here and there of like people thinking that this is like some sort of like Liz like comparison to Gabler sort of edit, which is like not even comparison. Again, having literally just finished watching, oh that's also a thing. I finished rewatching 43. Um, but yeah, like coming from 43, Gabler's edit is way better than I remembered. Um, and again, I think it really comes down to like just general perception because like I did not expect Gabler to win. Just looking at Gabler, but like actually watching the season, like the edit is there the entire time. Like I think his edit's more consistent than probably both Cassidy and Owens. Um, and I'll say by the end also, I think I would vote Gabler over Cassidy. I think at this point, I think now like rewatching season, thinking about it, also like thinking about like where I would be if I was on the jury. Um, I think I would vote Gabler. Because I think a big like aspect of why Gabler has as much respect as he does is because of how much Jesse and Cody are propping him up, and specifically like talking about how like, oh, he was involved in what we were doing, he was part of the Ride or Die Alliance and like that sort of thing. Which like if I'm on the jury and like knowing that, okay, well, again, Cassidy kind of all over the place, never really in a good group pretty much the entire season. Owen like just outright on the bottom the entire season. Gabler again was with Jesse and Cody. Like I mean, like did he do much within that? No, but at least he was with them. So like I think at that point, like I probably would have voted for Gabler. But yeah. Um, Liz edit is Erica and Gabler. I think that's a complete misunderstanding of what Erica and Gabler's edits are. Again, the fact that Liz, like again, orchestrates this Tevin vote undeniably. Like there is no way that they could go around that. That Liz orchestrates this Tevin vote. And despite that, she is completely overshadowed by Charlie and by like Q. It's like that's not good. Like I mean, like if this is supposed to be Liz's breakout episode, this is a shit breakout episode for Liz. Now again, it's better than what she had been getting. Like she's on my power ranking, she's above Q and Venus at this point. But is she winning? No. But yeah, like I think at this point, I'm still it's Kenzie. I think this probably solidified more. This was the like the cooldown episode that she needed, and even within it, it still had like it like very much remind me of like the D content during the Emily boot. Wait, no, not Emily, during the Bruce boot. I think that's what it was. When like Emily is like orchestrating this move against Bruce, we get like again D's like not very present in that episode, yet we get like a confessional from her talking about why it's a good move for her when it's like not really necessary. Like that felt like Kenzie's edit this episode. Like she wasn't very present throughout most of it, but she did get this like one random confessional during the scrambling of it all of her like explaining why getting rid of Tevin's good for her. I would love it if Venus won. I think that'd be so fucking funny. It's not happening though. But it would be funny. Same thing goes with Liz. Like, if Liz wins the season, again, that's funny. And same thing with Q also. If Q wins the season, also really funny. But not happening. Like I said, I think this is probably this is debatably the best episode in the New Era. Like when we're looking at it as this like full package, I think it's up there. Like when looking at like the other like best episodes in the New Era, it's like what the 41 part 2 of the Mergatory. But even then, again, it's like Hourglass. It's also like not really a full episode either. You got Telenovela, which is good. I don't think the first half of that episode is as consistent as this one's. What else is up there? But either way, like I think this is probably the best episode. Shamboot, same thing. I think Shamboot, like first half is kind of just like whatever. Second half is very strong. Like not even second half. Second like or end like back 2/3 of the episode. Like I think the first third is kind of whatever. Of like everything up to the reward. Like the reward itself is like up to that point it's like kind of whatever. But then after the reward, okay, that's when it like kickstarts. Like this is just a great episode all around. Like entirely because of Q. Like Q is what made this episode as great as it is. What where again we get the hide and seek sequence. We get the him like getting upset at the very beginning of the episode over like how like they're all chatting and not strategizing or whatever. What else was there? We have him like adding Charlie to the alliance. There's like a lot of like Dodo content throughout it. Yeah, 15 confessionals, which I'm trying to like. So Tony had more, and this is extortion. But it's up there, right? For like non-finale in particular. Like it's a pretty insane number. Yeah, let's see. Who had 13? Jam Jam had 13 in episode 5 of 44. By the way, I've watched the first 2 episodes of 44 as well. But yeah, Tony had 18 and this is extortion. So it's a little bit off of that, but still ridiculous number. Wait, what is this? Oh, this is the competitor thing. Statistics and stuff. 100%. Yeah. Obviously, like, the episode length plays a factor into that. Like, that's a reason why, that plays a factor into, like, people getting more confessionals. Especially with this episode, too, where, like, there was no reward challenge. It was just the immunity challenge and, like, just a normal tribal, no twists or anything. So, yeah, that obviously does factor in here. 143 after rewatch? Slightly. I did finish Fallout as well. That's actually part of why I didn't finish The Circle today, is because I ended up finishing Fallout before I watched The Circle. Yeah, Fallout's really great. I mean, I thought it was a great season 1. I mean, again, I'm not a big Fallout guy in terms of, like, I don't know much about the series as a whole outside of, like, I've played Fallout 4. Like, I finished Fallout 4. I've played, like, bits and pieces of 3 when I was younger, though I don't know how far I really got. Like, I'm not a big Fallout guy, but just as, like, a sci-fi show, I think it's a really fun show. But, what is this? Why this tweet in particular? But okay, but anyway, All-Stars 5, I mean, like, obviously it sounds really bad. I mean, it sounds like completely against what the show's initial premise is. It's very strange how it's, like, very also opposed to, like, All-Stars 4 as well. So where, I mean, All-Stars 4 obviously has, like, Cam, which is, like, a step in the wrong direction, like, like, in terms of what the general, like, theme of the show was supposed to be. But, again, for us to now essentially be, like, adding in people that were, like, on last season, like, people that, like, started competing in the last couple seasons, I think that's pretty fucking egregious. Like, if we're doing a season of All-Stars with fucking Logan, and fucking Emmanuel, it's like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, what is this show? It's like, I just genuinely don't understand what Challenge Production thinks. Because it's, like, it feels like they hate their own show. And are, like, doing, like, everything... Like, they hate the history of the show, I should say. Like, they hate what the show used to be. Which, to be fair, I think there is, like, an aspect of it that, like, I don't know if you can make, like, Challenge as it used to be anymore. But, like, again, I think All-Stars is a good middle ground. Yeah, like, now they're like, no, we're just gonna make All-Stars what we've made the main show into. Of, like, having these really fucking boring people being added in that have, like, no relevance to the franchise as a whole. I mean, like, is it new CBS people, though? Is that what they said? New CBS people? Because I assumed it was just, like, Fessy and people, like, which, like, is already confirmed to be one of the people. Anthony gone up? It hasn't really gone up. It's mostly stayed, like, it's more so, like, solidified than anything. Because, like, I think it's, like, it's tough to, like, truly go up on Anthony when I already had him in, like, such high regard to begin with. I think this season, though, has, like, reinforced his flaws while also still reinforcing his, like, really massive strengths. Like, it's really just given me more of Anthony, to where like nothing's really changed. Just that now we have 2 seasons of him being able to do pretty much the same thing. Even though again, I think this season was pretty much like handed to him for most of it, but still, he didn't mess it up. At least that's something. Yeah, it'll be a rivals theme, and like I guess that's like how they're getting away with it, right? Like that's the thing, is that they're doing this rivals theme with like some MTV people, but then like having them connected. Like they're gonna have like one person is an MTV person, and then their rival is like fucking Emmanuel or something. Um, which is stupid. And yeah, it's like filming right after 40. Like they're using the same house and everything, right? And yeah, probably recycle challenges too. Actually, I don't know. Are they gonna recycle the same challenge? Because that's a bit different, right? I'm sure there's gonna be like aspects for sure. But I don't know if they're gonna recycle challenges, because like it's not like challenge UK and challenge what was the challenge like Australia and like all those that shared the same like house and challenges and stuff. Like those are aired in different countries. These are aired in the same country. So it's like I don't feel like they're gonna recycle the same challenges. Eliminations that's more likely. I think dailies though I think is not very likely. Just because again it's the same audience that's watching both of them. It's like the same thing with like Traders US and Traders UK. It's like yeah they feel like they can get away with it because they feel like they're going to 2 separate audiences. Yeah, if they knew that they were both going to the same audience, they wouldn't do it though. I have not seen the rumors for Challenge 40. Rumors, but hopefully that's correct. Current data, Michael's twice as good as Janelle. I mean, twice as good? I mean, like, are we like, so are we adding in like 14 and 22 to it? Because like obviously that's gonna like lower her statistics. By the way, no clue what the fuck's going on in the game right now. Is Ben finished? Is there a chance? I mean, like, it's Kenzie, backup of Charlie. Everyone else is dead. Like, I think it's near impossible for anyone else to win. I have Ben at 3 for whatever that's worth. But it doesn't matter though. It's either Kenzie or Charlie. With again a massive. Like I would say like Kenzie's probably like what 70%, Charlie 20%, everyone else shares like 10. Hunter I have at 4. But again, like everyone's dead at that point. I'm gonna say 4 episodes in, I'm already tired of AI. Yeah, I mean, like, obviously that's the entire basis of the season. Which, like, I was listening to, what was I watching? I think it was the BB Can update for, BB Can podcast from Taryn last night. And, like, he was, like, talking about how I watched Circle already, it's such a great start to the season. It's like, From 2 episodes I've watched, I found that pretty blah. Like, I do think this is, like, I do think the incorporation of AI, though, is probably a good idea for a show. Again, I think like the circles obviously become stale. Obviously, this could just end up being a gimmick for this season. But I do think like moving forward, I actually like this concept. Like I think if like one, I think it'd be really fucking funny if they do a season of just one person, everyone else is AI. I think that would be funny. They wouldn't. I doubt they'll do that, but so I think there are interesting things you can do with having an AI player. Yeah. Again, I think it's a good idea. Will it matter? Probably not. And too fair, will the circle be renewed anyway? Probably not. Actually, I don't know. Like, actually, straight up, like, again, I didn't think we would get a season 6. I thought the show was done after season 5. That's why I did my season ranking, and that's why I kind of gave up on the show. And too fair, I would have given up anyway. But still, it's like I thought the show was done. But the fact that like, obviously they filmed 2 more seasons, they built a new set. Yeah, again, I know season 7. I'm talking about for beyond that. I'm talking about like season 8 beyond, because they do 2 seasons at a time. But yeah, like they built an entire like new set in America for it. So it's like I would assume like they're planning on keeping it, right? Because why build a new set if you weren't going to? Do I think Hunter might pull Mike Holloway? No, I don't. I think his edit would have been stronger up to this point if that was the case. Is Marilu number one? Or do we mean Mike Holloway? Like, do we mean like... Okay. By that, I'm assuming you mean like win out and get to the end. And like possibly win. Like, that, no. Can he like win out a few challenges? Yeah. Like, could he like Terry Dietz it? Like win out to like 5 or something and then get voted out there? Yeah, that's definitely possible. But he's not going to get to the end and win. How long is this game? I don't know. I think it's like 20-something hours. I think... Was it 23? I looked it up on howlongtobeat.com at some point. I think it was like 23 or something like that. Marilu won on Quebec. I think I still have Ghislaine won. Ghislaine, what the fuck his name is, at 1 on Quebec. Actually, I think did I drop Marilu down? Let's see. Oh, do I not have my power rankings spreadsheet up? Where is it? Yeah, I have Ghislaine 1, Audrey 2, Jean-Michel 3, Cassandre 4, and Marilu 5. See, I did move Marilu down, actually. I mean, last I've seen of her, like, she like, it's not a good luck. Like, I haven't watched the last couple episodes that I've aired, but, yeah, not a good look for her to be, completely on the outs when her own ally is, being saved by, like, the opposite alliance. Is Q locked in for a return? Maybe. I would say likely he gets asked. I don't know if he says yes, but I think very likely he gets asked. Was playing Andy Griffith Alliance? I mean, they were a real alliance that like played a major. I don't know. It was pretty important. I mean, like it explains why, like Hunter picks Tevin to be in the +1 alliance. It explains the soda vote off. It's like, I don't know. That's pretty important. That's a Persona 5 Tactica. I really like it. I've only been able to play like 3 hours of it so far, but I've enjoyed what I played. I intend on finishing it. I think Bono is a contestant production loves. They do, but I think they're not bringing him back, though. Why would he not say yes? I don't think he cares about Survivor. I mean, he openly says that in his pregame interviews. Like he talked about how like the reason he's out here is because he wants like a competition, right? Like he doesn't actually care about like the money or anything like that. He talks about how like, oh, I'm so busy in my real life that it's like, oh, I don't need Survivor. But like it's just like a game for him essentially. Like obviously it is a game, but like I mean like it's not like this big thing in his life to where I'm like I don't think he needs the show after this season, but you never know. Yeah, Jeff is very high on Tevin. He said if I could have a Tevin on every season, I would. And it would be a locked-in casting choice. So yeah, I think Tevin is pretty likely. Which is weird because like his edit was like very subdued. Based on like how like I mean, like he feels like a massive character. It's just that he didn't get much content on the show. Oh, cool. So I get why Cyrus was the first line alternate instead of Adam. Wait, what were we talking about? Like, which Adam were we talking about? But it is funny that, like, Cyrus, like, gets called in as an alternate and then, like, literally goes out in the same exact episode. Is getting rid of having the wrong move for Liz? Probably. I don't think it matters because it's Liz, but, like, probably. Like, really, that's really the summation of, like, Liz's, like, game is that, like, I don't think any of it matters because I don't think Liz can win anyway. like, I think Liz is going to be dragged through the game because no one looks at her a threat. They all think that she's like someone that's rich and doesn't need the money, so why give her to win? Um, and it's like, there's no, like, for most people, there's no reason to get rid of her, and she can't win at the end. So it's like these moves don't really matter. Obviously, like, it adds to her resume, but I would say, like, I think there are probably better moves to make. And, like, better timing for it also. I think, like, making it all the way at Final 10 is, like, pretty dumb. So it's like, I understand, like, okay, you want to be the person leading the charge on the Tevin vote. Tevin's a big player, all that sort of stuff. But, again, to do it all the way at 10, when, like, he's supposed to be your #1 ally, and, again, this just, like, shows everybody that you're willing to cut your #1 ally. Like, I don't feel like it was a move that she should have done. Thoughts on Theo King? Sure, why not? I don't care about him at all, but I'm not like, I don't know, at least he'll be someone new. It's been, what, like 11 seasons since he was on, so why not? Yeah, Kefla is funny. Is it Kefla? Kefla? It's Kefla, right? Anyway, he was fine, yeah. Jinsky might end up being mentioned in several episodes this season. That would be funny if that's like an intentional thing. If like they actually like pull it out beforehand, like, okay, we need to mention him in 7 of these episodes. For new era, if I were to update Jeff's least favorite players list, who I think is from each season minus 46. I mean, 41. Like, I'm probably like, I don't know, Shan or Danny. I'll probably say Danny for the sake of the video. Like, I don't think he actually hates Danny, but obviously, like, Danny's the one that called him out on, like, oh, you lied to us and everything, which he still won't admit to the fact that he lied. So I think probably, like, it would be Danny. 42, I don't think there's anyone of 42 he hates, right? I think there's just people that he doesn't care about, like, anymore. Like, people that, probably Jackson. No, it would be Jackson, right? He'll be annoyed at Jackson. 43. Yeah, I think it's like, I don't think there's anyone he hates on 43. Like, there's a lot of people that I think he's just kind of like whelmed with. But like 43 is like, he's very open that 43 was like his, like, he thinks 43 is the worst New Era cast. Like, it'd probably be like someone like Justine or something, where like, I don't know if he's thinking Justine brought much to the table. Like either Justine or like NECA. 44, I think, is interesting. Because I think he likes pretty much everybody. Like, maybe, like, Claire, just because, like, he was annoyed at how much she sat out of challenges. I don't think he has any actual resentment towards her. And then 45 would probably be Hannah. Oh, no, Sean. It would be Sean. Oh, yeah, that was a thing. Yeah, he was annoyed at Matthew for getting Medivac. Actually, rewatching 44, the beginning of 44, it is actually, like, kind of insane, like, how, like how good of an edit Matthew gets. Considering the fact that, like, again, we've know post-show now that, oh, he actually, like, was, like, the #1 target on Ratu and would have gone home if they had went to another tribal. And it also would have been the merge move. He got into the merge. Yeah, it's like, despite that, like, the edit really portrays him as this, like, mastermind. Like, it's very strange how Matthew is edited. I think Gamer would probably wait until, like, tomorrow to do the, challenge spoilers. First up, the Marion review. Now, who are we talking about? Like, what kiss of death are we talking about? Yeah, again, it would be great if Casey's out. I would applaud them. I mean, he didn't even, like, break his arm, right? He just, like, dislocated his shoulder or whatever. Or like I think he like injured his shoulder beyond that, but like still, it's like it's not like he didn't break anything, did he? Um. Would have been between Kane and Brandon, not according to post game stuff. Like according to Carson, which Carson's Carson, but Matthew was going to be booted at Ratu because he was going to try to save Kane. Like if they went to a tribal post swap, and quote unquote swap, and then like pretty much like most of the cast talks about how like yeah Matthew would have probably been like everyone's target at the merge. Like Carson says it, Jam says it. Was it Franny? Someone else? Or was it someone on Sega's? Oh, not Sega. Fuck me. That's this season. On Soka, right? That's the fucking Green Tribe is said it. The Detroit Survivor Branford, obviously. By the way, I sure just like we haven't been talking about Survivor Maryland, which like I feel like almost no one's watching it, so it's like whatever. But like I've been enjoying Survivor Maryland's last few episodes. I thought it's been a pretty good, like last 3 episodes or so, for that's worth. Scott Carson was on Ratu. I mean, he was for like 3 days or 4 days or something. That's Spicy B being number 1 on my power ranking. And what, Spicy B is still in a really good spot. Like, this doesn't change Spicy B's game. Like obviously it's like a slight down, but like, I think Spicy B's still the number 1 contender to win the game. Mimi, obviously that one was bad, but like, I don't think, yeah, I think like, more than likely, Anthony is still taking Victoria to the end, and Victoria wins against Anthony. Again, like, Elijah's exit press, he says the number 1 threat in the game is Victoria. That Victoria beats like, to him, at least, he thinks Victoria would beat everybody. And he had Anthony 5th, by the way, also, I believe, in his ranking. Like, his ranking of, like, who he would vote for was, it was Victoria 1, it was Kayla 2, which again shows me being wrong about Kayla's jury prospects. But Bailey 3, Avery 4, then Anthony. And then Todd, and then Tola, I believe, was the rest. Oh yeah, I forgot about Lexus. Okay, yeah, Lexus is above him. Yeah, completely forgot Lexus was still there. Which is funny because Lexus is my only draft person left. Yeah, I mean, ideal world, yeah, you should go to the Amatola. I don't think that's what's... And again, that's why I'm saying, like, my opinion on Anthony hasn't gone up. Because I think Anthony is 100% planning on going to the end with Victoria. Like, I think he's playing the exact same game. Like, he's doing the exact same thing of still, like, being, like, too loyal to his, like, number 1 ally. Like, he's playing a pretty great game around that. Especially now, like, yeah, too, I was, like, getting very sketched on him before the Kayla move. I think now that he's made the Kayla move, yeah, he's playing a pretty great game outside that. But, it's still, like, he's, like, really leading the game into a position where he just doesn't win at the end. But then locks for new era. I mean, again, I've talked about this, like, a lot. Of, like, who I think will be back. Again, like, Jonathan, Drea... Cody, Jesse, Carla, Carolyn, Jam, Marianne if there's winners. Likely Carson. And then probably D at this point. I wouldn't have said D until On Fire podcast, but Jeff is like really simping for fucking D on the On Fire podcast, which is funny because like it's funny that he like really props her up as a player, but then also like disagrees with like so much that she says. Like it's very strange. But either way, I think D, Emily if she wants it, which I don't think she does. Caleb, yeah, also. I don't. I think Xander's done at this point. Not done, but like I've said this for a while that I think 41 is looking very likely to have no returnees by time of 50. I don't think Heidi's a lock. I don't think Lauren's a lock. They're possible, but they're not like locks. Where am I actually going right now? So like I'm supposed to go there. Which wait, what does the thing say? Wait, so oh, wait until tomorrow morning. Okay. Is bus for winning Dondi? Probably not. Like, should be told, I don't even know who the fuck is even left. Like, I don't even know who these people are. Like, the people that aren't Boss Rob and Aaron. Like, Nick is a person, right? He exists. Is Amy that person's name? That's a person, right? How do I end the day? Out of 41 casts, where's Brad ranking? I'm like, not high. Even within the cast, I would say he's still bottom half chance of returning. And again, I think it's a cast that has no people returning at this point. Yeah, Jordan is a person. What's the point of this game? It's a spin-off. Yeah, it's just a spin-off the original. It's just, like, like the same like characters, kind of like it's like the same character models, right? But like just them in feudal Japan, 7 modern Japan. But like the gameplay is exactly the same though. Like it's just fucking Yakuza. Person don't want Drea to return. Yeah, I don't need it, but I think it's still very likely. I will say that I think like by the time of 50, I probably wouldn't have her as a lock anymore by that point. But I think she's definitely more likely to know her though. But this isn't anything. Where like I think Omer is pretty much dead in terms of returning chances. Like, I think Jelinski is, like, possible. Not very likely. Because I remember, like, on the On Fire podcast for the finale, or for premiere, fuck me, that Jeff explicitly said that he doesn't think Jelinski can ever win this game. That he really likes Jelinski, but doesn't think Jelinski can win this game. Which is, like, I think that is, like, not a good sign. Especially considering, like, he talks about how, like, he casts people to win the game. So it's like, and again, that's also the thing with Banu. I think like with Banu, he really likes Banu, but I don't think he's bringing Banu back. I think he looks at Banu like in a similar way of like, okay, yeah, he was good on the one season, but there's not really a point in bringing him back. Is Omar canceled? No. Return the Outcast, imagine. Cool. I might have to look up what I'm actually supposed to be doing. Jeff was pretty positive on it about on Q's quit because like he doesn't look at it as a quit. Like the way he like, so this is the thing. Like with him, it's like the way he talks about it is that he's like, well, with like Hannah and like with Sean, it's like, oh, they couldn't take it, and they thought like with Sean, they thought he was losing the game. And, like that's like whatever, that's its own thing. With Q to him, it's like, okay, this is just Q. Essentially being Q, this is a guy that's like massive ego and feels like the world like revolves around him essentially, and that like, okay, I failed at this, so I should be the one that gets taken out here. It's like it's just like it's like the side effect of his ego more so than like him like giving up in the game, or him that's not the right term, him like feeling like he can't take the game. I think that's probably a better way to phrase it. Which Sure, I like it's still stupid though. Like it's still dumb, but sure. Um, would Jelinski return over Zach? Probably. By the way, also, I I was mind blown the fact that Jeff remembers who the fuck Dara is on Fire Podcast. Where like he was talking about the story from Pearl Islands, which he talks about fucking forever. Like he mentions it all the time of the challenge where Burton spelt liaison incorrectly um and like they had to like revoke his immunity. Um, but then like he after that like was like, oh, I think Dara won that challenge. I was like, wait, what the fuck? He remembers who the fuck Dara is? That's mind blowing. I mean, yeah, Lex will always remember Dara. Um, yeah, was Q pulling a Zane Knight? No, I don't think so. I think he might like later say that he was. Like, I would not be shocked if we get to next episode and he's like claiming that that's what he was doing. Do I think he actually was doing that? No. There's literally zero upside to this. Like, it's just like purely idiotic. Um, like if he's actually doing this as a game move, this is one of the worst game moves ever. I mean, yeah, Tavin's number one. Um, was Prawns on Netflix? I believe it was, but I don't believe Jeff rewatches seasons. Um, like I think Jeff openly doesn't rewatch seasons. Um, how much money do I have? Okay, I don't have. Jeff probably doesn't have time to rewatch seasons. I'm sure he could find time if he wanted to. Um, they rewatch Heroes vs Villains. Well, that's something. But yeah, I think like he like openly talks about how he doesn't watch reality TV. So like I would assume he just doesn't watch. All right, I'm actually gonna look up a guide at this point. I'm literally been running around for like 20 minutes now. Let's see. Yeah, I like at this point where like Survivor's actually running and everything. Yeah, I think it's obviously harder to find time. Um, for my top 10 one-time player non-winning players, does anyone make the list? I would assume Jesse makes it, right? Uh, probably Jam. Does Jam Jam make the one-time player? It's like Jesse would make the non-winning. I'm not sure. Did Jam Jam make the one-time player? I think he probably does, right? Um. Okay, where am I at in all this? I think Jeff likes Brad. I would not be shocked if he barely remembers Brad at this point. Um, do live travels feel less chaotic than they used to? Oh, not to me. Especially because like we haven't had a live tribal in a while, right? I mean, I guess like was the Caleb after Shot in the Dark, was that a live tribal? It was, right? But like I don't know, it feels like we don't get them that often, like in the new era. Because it felt like we were getting them all the time on like Edge of Extinction and on Winners at War. And then we got like a few in 41, but then like post 41, I just feel like we barely got them anymore. Like I don't think we got any in 42 or 43. I don't think we got any in 44, right? It's like there's like kind of slump of us not having any. So like I don't mind them personally. Um, thoughts on Amazing Race? I mean, it was good. It was a good episode. A lot of that is because like the consequence of like it was a mega leg that they squashed into one episode, which actually meant that they had the rush things, which is funny. Because normally it'd be two 1 hour episodes, but this time they had to squish it into a 90-minute episode. But I thought there was a lot of interesting alliance stuff going on. Okay, where am I in this guide? I have no clue where I'm at. Um, so it's like I'm supposed to get here, right? But like the gate over here is blocked. Like why can't I get through? Um, I was underwhelmed by how much they hyped up the tribal. I will say that, yeah, I was underwhelmed by that. Um, where I was expecting some pretty big plays here. I was expecting like idle plays. I was expecting maybe even like an almost rock draw. Um, but instead we just got a like fairly predictable Tevin vote off. Like it felt very reminiscent to the Julia tribal, even though that was more chaotic. But kind of felt similar to that, where like okay, it was like a really fun scramble, but then like the vote off was like pretty mundane. Um, how many years does Survivor still have in tank? I think a lot. Like I think 100% until whenever Jeff gives up, and then even beyond that, they'll probably still try. Um, I felt like the Heather thing where she faked the scramble. I mean, like hers was like, yeah. I mean, like, yeah, I agree. Like hers was like her trying to make a move and then just like completely failing at it. Um, Or like, I guess to be fair, Q, it is kind of the same thing with Q. It's just that Q is like trying to make a move on himself, right? Like that's kind of what this was. Um, I think we got more fun from this though. Like we did get like Charlie telling Tiffany that that Q told him about the idol and all that stuff, which obviously I'm sure will pay dividends. Um, there was some fun stuff. Also, just the general reactions to like Q, um, the to Q quitting, was also funny. All right, I think I'm gonna literally just type in the prompt and just see what comes up. Is Q finished next week? I think it's. I thought he was finished this week. Like I was assuming he was going out here, coming into the episode. But yeah, next episode too. Why not? I will say, not a good look. If Q goes next episode. Um, and also like if Tiffany goes soon after that, like I don't know how many other black players are left. But not a good look. Where again, that's like now a talked about thing that it seems like black players just end up going during these split tribals for whatever reason. Um, which is not good. And then yeah, like Tevin goes, and now if Q goes, and then Tiffany goes, that's literally the five black players in a row. Yeah, there's five on the season, right? And they all go in a row. Um, if that were to happen, uh, that would be a bad look. But I think it's very likely that Q goes. Um, I find Tiffany like pretty perplexing on this season. At this point, where it's like her edit is just so bland, despite the fact that she's like a big character, and like I guess like similar thing with Tevin, and like it does feel like some of these big characters are kind of being watered down for some reason. Um, look away. Sounds undefined. I'm literally reading a guide at this point. But there's no like. Okay, I must just be a fucking idiot. Like, what am I supposed to be doing here? Like, is there another way there? All right, let's see something. Um, Tiffany is max fifth. Like placement. Oh, is there a world where she's like in Austin? I think that's not out of the realm possibility. I think she could be like second. I don't think she's winning. Given playing New Tales from Borderlands, I'm gonna kill myself. I didn't think about like, what if I did a retrospective on it? It would be really funny to do a retrospective on New Tales from Borderlands. But there's already a video online that's a pretty good analysis of it. Like, okay, so is it here? So was I at the right place to begin with, and I like undid that? I think that might be what I did, which is what I'm checking now. Um, yeah, that's the weird thing. It's like, yeah, like Charlie is like not particularly interesting. Yeah, he has like, yeah, 40 confessionals or whatever. Okay, yeah, so this is probably around where I'm supposed to be. um, oh, here we go. Cool. Yeah, I was just being dumb then. Um, yeah, like Charlie Hunter is also like a pretty big presence, even though again not as high confessional wise, but still like he's a massive presence on the season, despite the fact that he's like kind of boring. Um, yeah, again, Tevin ends up leaving the game in the bottom half of confessional getter somehow, which is weird. Um, biggest issues for Charlie to win. I just don't feel like his edit is like particularly complex. Like it just feels like he's being shown because he's in the middle, like constantly. Um, and I'm sure he'll play a big like role in the season. Um, but I don't think he's the winner. Like it's not a winning position. Though again, like, I think he's number two to Kenzie though. Like I mean, like again, like I think Kenzie's number one by a lot. I think Charlie is the next up. I will say though, my analysis of him by the time the mid-season power ranking, I think is just completely wrong, right? Where like I think like because my analysis at that point was like, okay, I think he's like an enabler for the person that ends up winning the game. Because at that point I was like much higher on like Maria and Ben. Though I think at this point it feels like the opposite, at least for Maria. I think Maria is simply there to prop up Charlie. Ben, I'm more like I don't know what Ben's doing. I don't know what they're doing with him. But sure, like Ben is also like very strange edgically. Towards like he is being like very much like he's being so propped up as a player, despite us like getting like nothing from him. To where like I don't know what we're supposed to be getting out of this. Like I don't know if he's like like again now that I don't think he's winning. Like is he like the fallen angel then? Is he someone that we're supposed to be looking at as like, oh, this guy was a great player and almost won the game? Is that what we're supposed to be getting from Ben? Um, like Kane Boo? I think it's different than Kane though. Or like Kane is one where like we never got talk about how Kane's that good of a player. Um, like not in the same way. Like we got talk about like how he's strategic, right? But like not in the same way of like Ben, to where like it feels like Ben is like it feels like with Ben, it's not really leading to him being a threat in the way that Kane was. Because it's not like we actually see him. Actually, no, I guess we did see him be in danger at the gem boat. So I guess that is a thing. Yeah, I guess maybe. Yeah, I think Liz is like Heather. I think that's kind of like Heather or like Jamie. I think that's probably what I'm looking at as Liz. Like I think again, fire making loser. Because I think her edit's too quiet to be a losing finalist at this point. I think fire making loser, or like final five, final six boot. Um, like booted at the tail end of the game. We upset about how Ben loses the game. Yeah, and to be fair, I don't know if we have that set up for many other people though. Which is funny, like yeah, like I did see that, like Ben, like Q mentioned that in his confessional, right? That like, oh, by the way, that was also super funny. The fuck, what was it? There was like something else. God damn it! All right, let's actually look up my notes. There was something really funny in the episode that like was before the hide and seek, right? Of like him. Let's see. Oh fuck! I opened up my BB Can notes instead of my Survivor notes. Um, where is it? By the way, that didn't lead to anything either, did it? Like we had the entire or not the entire. We had the tweet right from Q, posting like the image of him in like Venus as if it was gonna like mean something this episode, and it just doesn't. Um, where it's like, yeah, like implied that okay, maybe they're gonna be working together, they're gonna be targeting each other, but then no, like none of that ends up happening. Let's see. Oh, the Q skirt. We didn't talk about the Q skirt. That's what it was. Um, I remember there was one more Q segment I didn't talk about, um, which also fucking ridiculous. Finish champs contenders. Well, what do you think? Um, oh, have we talked about the scene of Charlie saying to Q, "I'm coming for you"? Um, which exact scene? It's a dumb segment, but it's a funny segment though. Like funny, like how into it Q is. Um, I mean, hide and seek was great, obviously. Also, really funny that like this entire like we talked about this last week of like us seeing like Hunter in the preview in the tree, and like my assumption is like, oh, he's doing like a spy chat or spy like nest thing, and like this is like him. Like he's gonna like figure out information that people are targeting him and then play the idol and like all that stuff. It's like no, they're just playing hide and seek. That's all it fucking was. Um, never predicted Shane win at any point this season. I think I picked up on it at some point. I don't remember when, but I do remember that I didn't think it was Sharn. Um, particularly because like Sharn was invisible for the first like 2 episodes, I believe, or something like that. Like I don't think she's on the show until like episode 3, um, which was like a red flag for me. Which was like the same red flag of Kirby this, well, I guess this season of Australian Survivor. But again, like I think if you're not in the first, like really, if you're just not in the first episode, I think that alone is already a red flag. But again, for you not to be in the first like 2 episodes is also pretty egregious. Um, I feel like this episode could have been 60 minutes. I don't agree. I think this episode was like a lot better because it was 90 minutes. Again, like this entire episode was like this character piece on Q. And I don't think we get as much of it if Q wasn't there. Like obviously, yeah, we don't get the Q skirt if it was 60 minutes. But like I think that made the episode better. Um wait, what was this? Forgot to check the board. I don't really give a shit about the board though. Um, wait, how do I check? Okay, cool. There we go. Can Rob or Aaron win Dondi? I mean, I think Aaron's the most likely to win from an edit perspective. I think like then you got like Nick is being like shown. I don't know who the fuck he is, but he's there. Um, I think Boss Rob's less likely to win. Haven't talked about rice negotiation. Yeah, that was also a thing. Which like 100% they're just gonna do it again, right? Like this is the funny thing. Like, I think if I'm on New Era, like if I actually gave a shit about challenges, which is like if I'm there, I would know I wouldn't win this challenge, so I wouldn't give a shit anyway. But if I thought I could genuinely win, I wouldn't give a shit about the fucking rice. Um, because like Jeff, like it's very clear Jeff is going to like eventually give in. Like if you listen to On Fire, like he's very much like trying to pretend like he won't, but like he definitely will. Um, like they specifically talk about on the podcast that they planned this out like like this is why Rice is at this specific point is because they already have it planned that um that with like nutritionists and everything that you can survive like this amount of time without rice, and this is the part where like people are like gonna start go downhill without rice. That's why they give people rice at this point. So if you don't take the rice here, like they're gonna be desperate for you to take the rice later. Like they're not gonna want you to be like completely miserable to where you're not playing the game. um So it's like, I mean, like, he's eventually going to give in. What is there to say about Cyrus's run? I literally don't even think there's anything to say. He was there for like what episode? Again, there's also nothing to really say about Tony's run. He was also like there and didn't get like he had a funny moment in like episode 1. Where am I going? Um, but yeah, there's like nothing really there to talk about. Ayana, I don't know what to think about Ayana. I just think there's I don't know, it's just like kind of icky. Um, watch the who is your winner pick? Um, for Chairs of Contenders 2. I don't know if I should say something about it or not, but either way. Why is Rob not winning? I just don't think he'll win. It's not really like Edgic analysis or anything. I just don't think he'll win. Like to be fair, there is Edgic analysis in the fact that he is undermined at points by Aaron and everything, but I just generally don't think he'll win. Um, um, like what I would say is like somewhat spoilery, but I mean I'll say it. I mean like Champions Finish 2 is a season where I predicted the winner from the premiere. Um, to where like that was like one of the notorious. There's 3 seasons of the show, where from the premiere I feel like you can clearly tell who's winning, um, and this is one of those. Ultimate format of All Stars 4. It's like fine. Like it's not like I don't know. Like I don't really have like many like detailed thoughts. It's just like kind of standard. Um, like I kind of like we're getting back to having like the stars of it all. Like I kind of like that mechanic. And it's obviously like a twist on what we've had before on like where before you would have to beat the person to get their star or whatever. Where it's not really how this one works. You can just win any elimination and take a star. Which I'm not sure if I like that more or less. Um, Probably more. I don't know. But outside of that, it's like, I don't know, it's pretty standard. I would say there's like not that much of an incentive on like winning, right? On winning dailies. Because like, okay, you win a daily, you can protect your star. Or like throw yourself in. But it's like, your star's probably going to be stolen anyway. Like, the stars don't matter this early on in the game. Like, anyone can just steal it anytime anyway. Like, there's no point even having one right now. Winner pick is Pia. She literally said, I'm either going to be first boot or the winner. Yeah. Liz right now has less confessionals than Banu. Let that sink in. Yeah. By a lot, too, right? Like, she's like half the confessionals that Banu has, almost. I think Audrey made bad move after bad move. Who are we talking about? Audrey on Quebec. I don't like so like Olivier. Like, was he actually after Aud? Like, was like, why'd she go after him exactly? To where it's like, I get that she like started to trust him less, but like, why though? Sierra or Andrea? Andrea. Planning on cutting her at the merge. I'm too fair. I think that's enough to take him out. Again, the merge is not that far away. I guess it kind of is for Quebec, but like still, it's like I think it's like okay if it's like a situation where like oh I'm not gonna cut you until final 5, that's okay. Don't take them out now. Take them out like if they're planning on cutting you at the merge. I feel like okay, just take them out. They're not really with you then, are they? If they're planning on cutting you at the merge, and like she still has the numbers now, right? even after that vote. So I don't think that's that bad of a move. Yeah, but even if she goes back, they still have the numbers, don't they? I guess, well, what are they at? Are they got 7 on that tribe or 6? Because the minority alliance is 3, right? Like, it's her, Sebastian, Deborah, and then Audrey, right? Or not Audrey, Andre. Yeah, Andre. But again, is Andre really working with the other side? I guess he could because he has the relationship with Mayor Lou, right? Yeah, I know who the minority 3 are. Uh, Best case scenario, if Anthony wins the season in dominant fashion, fixes mistakes, is the BPN GOAT? Probably. But, I don't know if he's like, yeah, I don't think he's better than Dan at that point still. Like, I think at that point he's essentially, he'd probably be better than Cody. Actually, I don't even know. Would he be better than Cody? Because at least Cody is a more, like, I would have more faith in Cody to win any given season. Especially the fact that Cody can win comps. Or, like, Anthony can't. Or, like, obviously Anthony's throwing comps, but I don't think he would have won these comps anyway. D or Chris? D. Yeah, I don't think it's really that close. Anthony sucks comparison to Cody. I don't think he's that far off. Or even coming into the season, I mean, like, Anthony would have probably made top 10 players of all time. Like, globally. Actually, I don't know. Maybe he wouldn't make. He'd be right outside top 10, maybe. Because I forgot about Kevin Jacobs, too, being there. Yeah. His ideal final 2 is Tola, by far. I think at this point he might be able to beat, like, Avery. And even then, that's not really guaranteed, considering the jury would at that point be majority women. But I guess, like, where's Spicy V voting? I don't know. Yeah, Anthony at 9 or 10. That's where I was thinking he would be. At what point did I clock Jericho winning? Not until, like, very late, if I remember right. Where, like, I was very high on Sarah for a lot of it. Like, I was pretty much high on Sarah until the 3222. And then that happened, I was like, okay, Sarah's downhill. At that point, I think I was Jericho or Michelle. I think definitely by like final 5, I was Jericho. But it wasn't until pretty late. Do we think we'll ever get our first boot season? No. 0% chance. Thoughts on Quebec? I only watched 1 episode since last stream, but it was a good one. For what it is. Is Venus a villain to me? I mean, like, she would be on the villain's tribe. Is she, like, actually a proper villain? But, again, she would be classified as a villain. Sarah's your winner pick the whole season, then she kind of fell off, yeah. Mother Bailey's playing well, yeah. But also, pretty insane that Kaylee even wanted to go for Bailey, though. Which, I'm like, actually, technically, it is the right move. Like, on paper, it is the right move. But, like, actually trying to get Avery to go through with that move, I think, is the question mark. And also thinking that Spicy would be on board. Um, what's the gap between non-winning players for Suri in second place? Probably decently big, right? I mean, like, Suri is, I believe, is the only one in the top 10, right? Um, who would I even have as the second best non-winning player at this point? I don't even know anymore. But I would say, like, I don't know, at least 15 spots or so. Yeah, I don't think I stand by the Malcolm pick, though. I don't know about Amanda either. I don't know. I don't know who it would be. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think it might be, like, a pretty big gap. But again, I haven't made the actual list yet. 2016, I actually did think Christie was gonna win. Well, I think I was one of the few people that thought Christie was gonna win. But yeah, I was actually pretty like I didn't like Christie's game even at the time, but I did think Christie was gonna win. Like I think like I spent like I think it was like early on I had like a sense of like okay, like this was like there was like something on the original Red Tribe, whatever the fuck they were called, where like it piqued my interest of like okay, I think that could be like a winnery thing. And that was always in like the back of my mind. And then coming into the merge, I was like, okay, I think it might just be Christie at this point. Because like everyone else had like these pretty glaring, like massive holes in their edits. Where I feel like Christie's again was bad. But I feel like considering the game she's playing should have been worse. You'd be high on Matt? I think I was high on Matt at a point. Like, I think if it were, like, talking about who was actually my number one contender for a lot of it, I think Matt was my number one contender, like, from, like, episode 5-ish on for a little bit. I'm trying to remember, like, who was my, like, pick early on? Yeah, I wish I had power rankings for back then. I think that would be interesting to look at. Why wasn't Elle winning Edgically? Do you know what edit she got? Wait, Aganoa, yeah, that's what they're called. Like the Olivia boot? Eh. I think it's like an interesting vote off. Like, I didn't love the flashback. Well, like, essentially what they do is, like, they don't properly explain. Like, they have, like, a little, like, thing earlier on. I'm talking about how, like, oh, Audrey, I think I need to go for Olivier. But then, like, never properly set up the vote coming in the tribal. And then all of a sudden, Olivier gets voted out and they flash back to how it happened. Which is, like, again, like, I like flashbacks being utilized, like, the Genius and stuff like that. I think for Survivor, I don't particularly like it, especially when it comes to vote-offs. Like, it just feels cheap to be doing that. Because it's essentially like... Because, like, I think it would be better if the Olivier stuff happened... but then there would be no point in the flashback, actually. Yeah, I think either way, I don't like it. Because, like, I think, like, the perfect, like, editing for a blindside is, like, the Jeremy blindside in Zenwondel Sur. Where... it's like it happens very last second. It's like one of the last scenes we see, but it never feels like fully solidified. It just feels like this thing that's getting talked about as like a possibility. And it happens and it's this big vote. With like this, it's like it's not even like really explained at all coming into the actual vote, and then we just flash back and they fully explain everything. And like that's not as interesting to me. Haven't seen the episode yet. Yeah, it was good. It was a good episode. Very good episode. I said this earlier. I think it's up there with the best of the new era. Now, again, the vote off itself, I think, underwhelmed me, considering how much hype there was coming into the episode about like how great of a tribal it was and everything. But the episode as a whole, though, was very, very good. Yeah, like Elle was like barely in the show. She actually had like a decent beginning, actually. But then she's just like disappears. Um, like she's just like not even on the show for like the middle of the show. Persona 5 Tactica better than Persona 5? No, not even close. I think it's better than Strikers from what I've played of it so far. It's not anywhere close to base Persona 5. What Survivor player do I think is overrated? Like, overrated? Like Sandra, but like I don't think she's a bad player, though. I just think she has more flaws than people say. To be fair, same thing with Parvati. I don't think Parvati is as good of a player as people like to talk about her. Even though, again, I still have her 4 on my player ranking or whatever. I don't know. Who's like a genuine pick? I just always find like talking about who's overrated to be weird because it's just like what is the consensus? I guess. Tony. I think if it was Tony before Winners at War, I would say yes. I think Tony was overrated coming out of Kageon. But I think after Winners at War, I think I'm pretty high on him. Like he's still like inconsistent in the sense that like I could definitely see him flame out, but like not necessarily. Like I don't know. It's like I think he's learned, right? I think it's like I don't think naturally a game changers would happen to him again. If it does happen to him, it would happen to him because of the target on his back. Like I don't think they're like I think if he were to play the game again with a brand new set of people, I think he would like make it pretty far most times now. Like based on like the game that he showed that he was able to play in Winners at War. But like I think if we do see him again, he's just gonna be booted early because he's a massive target. I already answered the Venus thing earlier. Like I think she's like a villain if you're gonna like say is she a hero or a villain? Is she really a villain? Like as in like is she like Russell Hantz? No. But I think she's like as villainous as like a modern player will get, pretty much. I think she's more villainous than Daniel De Lorenzo. It's like yeah, I think someone mentioned earlier Courtney. I think she's probably more like yeah Courtney. Yeah, Jelinski does have merch. Q has merch as well. I'm pretty sure like almost everyone has merch from this season. Yeah, for both Kageon, Where's That War really do understand how good Sony's social game is? Yes, I agree. Especially as like a large reason why Denise takes out Sandra is because of how like good Tony's social game was. Where like she really loved Tony to where like she didn't want to take Tony out at that point. And it's like he still has his fumbles. Like I mean, like he again doesn't treat Tasha well towards the end of her run. Burns that jury vote. Like even in Winners at War, there are flaws for sure. Like I think like he does get paranoid like on days that he's going to tribal in the pre-merge, where like we see him during the Tyson vote off. We see him like really like he gets like freaked out at like no wait no it wasn't the Tyson vote, it was the one, it was it the Amber vote off then? There was one of the vote offs where he like really both of them I think he like scrambles, but like one of them he like freaked out like Tyson saying his name, which it must have been the Amber vote off, and then tried to flip the vote on Amber and like technically fails. Like more so gets like talked down from it, but like still. And then I think during the Tyson vote he talked about like wanting to flip it onto Nick, right? I believe was the thing. And it also gets like super paranoid during the what ends up being the Sandra vote, where like he does the spy shack and all that sort of stuff, and people realize that he's missing. Is a list spike a setup for her being 0 vote finalists or a boot very soon? I think neither. I think she had a spike because she had to have a spike. Because I don't think you can tell this story without, like, because like yeah, she was the person that that put the votes on the Tevin. Like, how do you explain this story without it? It's like, who is the person that's bringing up Tevin's name in like every single scene? It's Liz. Like, you have to show her. Which is why like I don't really factor this much into her actual edit because like this was absolutely like necessary content. Um, like the footage would not make sense if you did not make Liz like the orchestrator of it. Um, so yeah, like it doesn't really affect much for me in terms of that. Like I think really she's probably like final five, final six, if not fire making loser. Um, under Blizzard warning, how the fuck is there still Blizzard in like mid-April? Again, Tevin's one. It's not close. One in Nicaragua ranking, probably Chase. Actually, no, it is Chase. Had May Snow before? Yeah, I don't have snow at all where I'm at. But yeah, I think it's chased by a lot, actually. Like, I think 2 would probably be Sash. And probably Holly would be 3. Where, like, realistically, I think, like Holly and Sash, I think, are close. I think Sash, the reason I would give him the edge is because I do think he was, like, disadvantaged by Nyanka and Purple Kelly quitting. Or like that, like, really upset his power structure. And also, to be fair, I mean, that's something that you can do the other way of saying that, okay, that's something that greatly benefited Chase. Where, again, one, Nyanka gives Chase her idol. And then, at that point, it really, like, it essentially gave, like, Chase's side the, like, this winning position, considering they were closer to Sash to begin with. So like if it wasn't for that, then like Sash probably would have had more room to maneuver. Where like once like Nyanka and Purple Kelly are gone, it's like what else can Sash really do? Considering like it's not gonna work with fucking like Benry, and like Dan. Have I agreed that Q's an all-time great reality TV character? I mean, okay, this is just a incredible episode for him. Really enjoyed Circle. I've only watched the first 2 episodes, but I found it boring, to be honest. But I don't know. Like I found like episode 1 was super boring to me. I was like, this is just the most generic fucking Circle episode that's ever existed. And episode 2 with the AI stuff, it's like, okay, this is like a bit more interesting, but like still like not great. Like I think the only season I truly find like great is like UK season 1. And that's because like I think it utilizes like the concept of the show and then like has a whole bunch of drama to it. Where like so far like this season, like looking back at like season like 5 and I'm trying to think of like season 4, and really even season 3. Like there wasn't much drama on those seasons, was there? And like the thing that's like annoying now is that there's so much like focus on like, oh, we need to catch the catfish, when like this doesn't matter. Like when we get the like announcement there's like an AI in the game. Like it has the like it has the prompt on screen of like, oh, someone in this game is not who you think there is. Think they are, whatever. And then like the blonde women, whatever, ends up saying that like, oh no, duh, that's the point of the game. It's like that's not the point of the game. Like the point of the game is not to catch the catfish. That doesn't matter at all. Um, like now, I guess it kind of matters because they're forcing in this twist that like forces you to try to figure out who the AI is. But like that's not actually the point of the game. Um, Actually, I just realized I don't think I did put Elijah on the player ranking. I just realized that I don't think I updated my BB Cam player ranking. Where would he be though? Probably 2? I don't know. Matthew's probably higher than him. I don't know. It's probably 2, right? This is not better than fucking Elijah. Dennis sucks at the game. I love Dennis as a TV character and everything. Dennis is not a good player. Again, Dennis like came into his boot week as the #1 target for the entire house outside of Vivek. And by the end of the week, Vivek was even convinced to take him out. Like, that's terrible. Where you're like, where like your #1 ally was convinced to take you out of the game in a situation where literally everybody else was already against you also. Elijah, like, at least was, like, in a quote-unquote majority alliance early on. Obviously, it didn't really mean much by the end of it. But again, Dennis was just on the bottom the entire fucking time. Is Elijah Bond 10 to make jury? I don't know, potentially. How close is Mystery Man the winning challenge? It's pretty likely. Better or worse than Donna? I think at this point better, right? I think it's too far gone for Donna. I think that is funny, yeah. Elijah never voted outside of week 1. Where, yeah, he was HOH that one week and then was nominated every other week. So far, who's worse to make merge? What, I mean, from, like, this season? Who is the worst player? It's probably Venus, right? Yeah, it's Venus. Like, really, I don't think this cast is, like, of the people that made merge, at least. Like, I don't think this cast is, like, that bad of players. When it's like looking at this cast, like, okay, I think Kenzie seems like a good player. I think Tiffany seems like a good player. I think Charlie seems like a good player. I think Maria seems like a good player, though again flawed, but still a good player. I think Ben I'm a bit unsure about. Q obviously is Q. What was it? Tevin, I think, like, has pros. Obviously, I think he's just too trigger happy. I think Hunter's a good player. Who else is there? Venus, again, I think is pretty bad. Soda, I think, is, like, fine. Like, not egregiously bad, but, like, not good either. It's just kind of, like, you know, just kind of there. Liz, I think, is, like, kind of in this, like, non-winning spot, yet despite that, like, I don't know, it's kind of this, like, thing of, like, she has no win equity coming into the season, to where, like, she's really, like, again, like, yeah, I think the Tevin move was, like, probably not the ideal move to be making right now, but it's, like, who cares? Like, she's on a path to lose anyway. It's, like, again, making a move at least, like, increases the chance of people respecting you by the end, so at least that's something. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think Liz wins no matter what she does. So it's like, again, like, the fact that she's at least trying to do something about it is at least kind of interesting. Yeah, Q's a terrible player. I don't think he's bad, but I don't think he's, like, the worst of the worst. He was at least in a majority alliance the entire pre-merge. He was actually in a swing position at points. Again, I still think, like, he's, like, again, the foundation of the +1 alliance is a good, like, premise. He fucks it up, but, like, again, like, there's at least, like, good things to mention. Um, where like he's not up there with like the worst of all time or anything, or even like probably even worse to make jury or whatever. Interesting characters on Circle. I'll be honest, I don't care about this cast at all. I'm even trying to remember the cast. I know Lauren, but more so because she's hot, more so than like her as a character. Like she's fine. Like outside that, it's like I mean, what's the guy's name that's playing his friend? He's fine. I'm trying to remember the cast. Like I don't remember this cast. Like Paul Russell, yeah, like Caress, is that her name? Paul Russell's sister, which I didn't know who the fuck Paul Russell was, but I guess he's some sort of social media guy. Yeah, I mean, like she's fine. Yeah, no one's like popping on this season for me. Like I say, Q is a bad player whenever he's doing everything part of his master plan. Again, it is funny how like Q, like the thing is like Q's the type of player that like will do something and after fact claim that this was all part of his plan the entire time. I think I was fucking meeting up with Sejima. He's a rapper. I definitely knew that. Old Southern woman. She's not even that old, right? She's like 30, isn't she? The like Southern woman, like she's not even old, right? Oh, you have the psychic girl. Not psychic. Why is she? Astrology girl. That girl, right? Q's the Poppin' Paul. I don't think he's Poppin' Paul. Like I think Banu is more Poppin' Paul. Again, Q at least like again probably makes it deep on most of his seasons. He's probably screws it up for himself at that point. The one that looks like Kendra, sure. What I think about Q saying Ben is hiding in plain sight. I mean, like it's weird, right? Like, again, it just continues this like weird thing about Ben's edit, where he's like constantly being propped up as a good player despite us like not seeing anything of that. We're just hearing talk about it. I remember Max in the circle. Which one's Max? Oh, yeah, we're talking about the AI. That's Max, right? Okay, yeah. Yeah, sure. It is funny too when like again seeing the reaction to like people being told it's an AI and they like instantly like think it's people that sound robotic. It's like you realize that like they're not going to like make it like I feel like if I'm on the circle and I hear okay there's an AI you to figure out which person's AI, I look at my instant thought is like okay this is probably the person I'm thinking is the least likely to be an AI. Like, they're not going to make it easy. And again, is it actually an AI? I think is also the thing. I would not be shocked if it's simply just production typing in answers. But, like, yeah, like, I feel like it should be, like, you know, you should not be, like, taking your first guess and thinking that that's the answer. I haven't updated my power ranking. I would assume Victoria's still #1, though. Well, again, like the Kayla move is actually like not that egregious for Victoria. Or like, I think like while she is being tricked into doing it, I think like she should probably get rid of Kayla soon-ish. Like Kayla's not taking her to the end. I think you biggest part for gifting us of the Dark Saint. But, yeah, I think Anthony is likely to make it to the end at this point. I don't know. Again, if he takes Victoria, I don't think he wins. I think it's the issue. Or again, I think Anthony's just doing the same thing. He's being too loyal to his #1 ally. I think Bailey's probably... So, okay, I haven't actually properly updated. If I were, I think right now I would probably have Victoria 1, Anthony 2. Which would be a jump up for Anthony. I think I would have Bailey 3. I think it would be Bailey 3, then Lexus 4. And then maybe Todd 5. Then like Avery 6, Tola 7. Like that would be my like gut instinct. Okay, cool. What do you mean? What do messages look like? They look like messages. We actually have Liz win somehow. She's not going to, but I don't know. I don't care personally. It's like okay, fine. I don't care that much anymore about like who wins and that sort of thing. Like it doesn't really matter to me. Like I have fun with the process of like trying to figure out who it's going to be, but I don't really care of who that person actually is. Oh, I'm really playing this terribly. Oh, I didn't even know this was a stance. Oh, perfect. I was just maybe dumb. Well, this person's Jag. I mean, I should clarify for Survivor, I guess. And like with Jag, it's like it's like the frustration that he does like everything against his best interest, and then he fucking wins despite that. I think is like the annoying thing. Basically, I like personally, I like Jag more than Matt. But guys, it's the fact that like Jag was like just like constantly told that like Matt would beat him, and he was like, you know what, I'm gonna fucking play with honor and take Matt to the end, and then wins due to Matt fucking it up, despite like Jag not realizing that was the thing. Jag or Ty, BB Can 11. Probably Jag. Because like Ty I saw coming. And like also I would vote for Ty over Claudia. Like I think when it's Ty or Claudia, it's like, well, Claudia sucks too. Like Claudia essentially gave up her game for Ty. Or like if it was like Ty and Daniel and like Ty won, then I would be like more annoyed. Or like if it was like Jag and Bowie Jane at the end, and like if Jag won, I'll be like, okay, that's whatever. Like again, at least he took Bowie Jane to the end. That's at least like in his best interest. I might be fucking this fight, by the way. I need to get more healing stuff if I'm gonna do this without paying attention. Talia can even get girly pops to vote for her, yeah. Well, because like the girly pops were pissed at her for like giving up her game 4 tie. Like that's why they didn't vote for her. Or like Shania was like a pity vote. Or like Shania, I believe, like in like the post game stuff, was talking about how like Ty is like her number 1 to win, right? It's like she even wanted Ty to win. She just like felt bad for Claudia getting no votes. By the way, Ty and Claudia definitely broke up, right? Like I haven't seen any update from them. Yeah, I assume that probably means that they broke up. At this point. Because, like, you would think that there would be, like, something. Okay, I'm about to die again. Actually, have I never updated my stuff? Well, that's also something. Were any of these things? Yeah, whatever. Overall thought the Titans vs Rebels, same. I think it's great. But did I ever talk about? I did listen to the Ferris deep dive. I don't think I ever did talk about that. Though to be fair, I don't think I got that much new from it. Where like I think the only thing like that new from it was like the Garrick vote. and I guess like Garrick maybe got a good edit. um, where like Garrick like again like got shown in the show of like having these like really good reads and everything. I guess like he would just like spitball like a billion things, and then like it just so happened he was right at points. It's more so the thing with Garrick. Titans vs Rebels or BB Can 10. I think I would go Titans vs Rebels. I think. Um, yeah, what is this? Best voting confessional? Oh, it's just the entire fucking thing. Um, oh, best voting montage. Um, sure. That's fun. Um, where's the last save? When is that? That's 15 minutes ago. Well, this is 14 minutes ago. Oh, there's no one here. That is... Oh, that's further back. Wait, why is... How's that make any sense? This one's further back, yet this one's ahead of this one? Whatever. I'll load that. Just because I need to buy shit. My name is Ty. Letters came from frustration at how insanely... Yeah, I think that's also the thing. With Ty, it's like, okay, I don't like Ty at all. But like I think it became frustrating how like the comps were just so catered towards him. Which I will say actually something that I think is an unreported story of BB Can 12. That's really probably no one's talking about because like who's talking about BB Can 12. But the oh, is this just for here? Yeah, whatever, I'll heal here. But the comps have been very equitable this season. Like I feel like they're like, has there really been one that has been that, like, egregiously physical? Not really, right? I think Titans vs Rebels is very high. I don't remember where I had BB Can 10. Like, I think in terms of the top shows of reality TV or whatever, I think, like, it wouldn't really match up, actually. Have Titans vs Rebels that high? Okay, cool. Got an ad. I completely forgot the last video that came out was the BB Can who would I vote for? But whatever. Where's BB Can 10? Number 10, okay. I think if I were to do this now, I think I would move BB Can 10 down to right above 14. Yeah, okay, I think this is what I would do. So I would move BB Can down to right above BB 14. So move down 2 spots. And then I probably would have Titans vs Rebels above it, right below Micronesia. So essentially that would mean it would be like 13. Titans vs Rebels. Yeah, I think like looking at the list, I think that's probably where I would have it. Because I think in terms of like US Survivor seasons, I would still have Cagayan, Here's Villains, Dave vs Goliath, Pearl Islands for sure above it, and I would say Micronesia is like the debate. And yeah, I think I would probably move BB Can 10 down a little bit. Just imagine like the they do like redos of comps that like Victoria won in BB Can 9. Does Bailey beat most people? I think Bailey beats anybody but V and... Well, actually, yeah, now that Kayla's gone, yeah. Probably anybody but V. According to Gamer, apparently MTV tried to cover up the Kyle situation in hopes that they would forget so they can bring it back. That's not shocking. Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like that's very much what MTV does. Was this just Marianne's wedding photo? Which, yeah, just the reunion with 42 people. Which I'm surprised that many 42 people went. Which, yeah, got on that cast for still being that close. The fact that Swathi is there is really funny. Like of all people. So who isn't here? Like Jonathan isn't there. Um, Jackson's not there. Mariah is not there. Daniel Strunk is there. It's funny. Um, who else is missing? Roxroy, Chanel. Is that? No, there's more than that. There has to be more than that. Anyway, I mean, it's just really funny that like Daniel Strunk and Swathi are there. Everyone else, I think, is like, okay, that's kind of who you would expect. Um, I think maybe High in particular, like I wouldn't have expected. But like again, like Omer, Lindsay, Mike, Romeo, Zach, Tori, like 100%. That's who I would have expected to be there. Oh, yeah, Drea's not there, but then, again, that's about right. uh, Imagine Drea was there. I think that'd be weird, and then Drea if Drea wasn't there. Um, oh yeah, Jenny. Yeah, Jenny's not there. Yeah, like Drea's not even getting invited. um, I played Mario Kart with Marianne, Zach, and Omer. It's all the young people minus Chanel and Lydia. Oh yeah, Lydia is not there. I thought I would have thought Lydia might have been there. So maybe that's a little bit of a surprise. Fran from 44 talked about hanging out with Jenny, which I found hilarious. I mean, again, who doesn't love Jenny Kim? Yeah, I assume she asked everybody but Drea. That is if she could even get in the contact of Roxroy. Wait, no. Wait, I don't get how this currency works. I guess we'll buy all those? Okay, cool. That's not what I meant to do. Cool. Alright, I guess now I'll try to fight. Actually, I guess I might as well try to upgrade shit, right? Yeah, this is the issue of not paying attention to the game. I have no clue what any of this means. Okay, that's fine. That's fine, right? What is that? Sure. Need Q to win, actually? Well, that's not happening, though. What is this? I thought Melinda was like 40. No, I knew Melinda was 32. Like, I knew this was the thing. That, yeah, Melinda and Bobby and Bob Dog were the same age. Where, like, 100% what happened here is that they, like, cast before they create the theme. And they created the theme and then, like, didn't care enough to fix that. Of, like, try to get it to where, like, it actually makes sense. Health increase or... Oh, can I not do any of these? I don't get how this works. Okay, wait. I can only go here? Why can't I go here? Whatever. I don't even get how this works, but okay. Oh, it's like a circle thing. Okay. I get it now. Cool. I get it. Who are room for 46? I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter to me who wins. I don't know. It'd be cool to get a winner pick. But I don't really care if she wins or not. Again, Q win would be funny. Liz win would be funny. Venus win would be funny. Um, Charlie win would be boring. Okay, yeah, so these increase each. Okay, cool. I get it now. I understand this game. Figures are trying to figure out who the most forgettable player is. I've come to the conclusion. Ruth Marie. I remember Ruth Marie. She gets dragged by Bob Dog in the bag wrestling challenge. Like, I think, like, I would say Melinda is more forgettable for me than Ruth Marie, but even then I still remember Melinda as well. Oh, I have 0 of those? How do I have 0 of those? Wait, where's this one start here? Most real player is one of the 3 women from Guatemala. Yeah, but like I think again, like obviously I'm just not a good person that like to ask this, right? Because I remember everybody. Um, but yeah, like Morgan McDevitt is the magician's assistant. So like at least that's like somewhat notable from that. You have Brianna Varela, who is hot, so I remember her for that. And then Brooke Struck I remember as Rob Cesternino's crush. Oh, but like Kim was in the Showmance with Jeff. That's something. Lindsay from Worlds Apart. That's probably a better answer. Yeah, I don't know if anything like really stands out from Lindsay. Well, I guess she kind of fights with like Rodney though, right? That's something. Oh, is there someone from Cook Islands that'll be super forgettable to that level? Like maybe like Rebecca Borman. I think is probably up there. You forgot Aaron from IOI. I wouldn't forget Aaron from IOI. I think I did one of those quizzes, like I did a Sporkle quiz of every player, and finally the last person I like the person I forgot to remember until the end was Papa Bear. I should have saved. Actually, wait, why am I watching this? Oh, do I have to watch this? Well, this is so stupid. Someone from Fiji. Well, like Liliana, I think is like known for being forgettable, which makes her not forgettable for me. Same thing with Erica. I think is like a very talked about, like most forgettable person of all time, which makes her not forgettable for me. Sylvia's fun. Papa Smurf is Papa Smurf. Jessica Ben's first boot. Rita, I think, is potentially up there, but she's also like the person that like ruined Earl's perfect game. Okay, I can skip this one at least. It's important. I'm sure it is. I don't know, who would they even get that's like new, like a new CBS person? The thing is, I actually think there like could be like an interesting thing to do. I think I saw Alan Algieri, whoever, mentioned this on Twitter, that like it would be fun if what they did with All Stars. I think for me it's like 100% just stick to MTV and that sort of thing. But if you are gonna fuck it up, like at least fuck it up with like getting like retro CBS people and stuff like that. I think that could be cool. Like if you were to get like old school MTV people versus old school CBS people. So you get like Janelle, you get like again, you can't get Parvati probably, but like get Parvati. Like get like those sort of people. Like people that like if they had gotten CBS people back then, they would like they would have been on. Like I think that could have been like Ozzy, I guess. Alright, let's eat one of these. Cool. What is that noise? Whatever. Okay, cool. USA should have been Baby versus Survivor, but Amazing Race has to be there. And so is Love Island. It is funny just like how much of an afterthought Amazing Race was on there. It's like, why even bother? They 100% should have just done, yeah, Big Brother versus Survivor. Okay, fuck me. Oh wow, this is actually doing a lot of damage. What the fuck? What the fuck? That actually, like, okay. That was pretty insane. Do I consider Nico from South Africa, Panama, as the player that got voted out and came back to the game? Yeah, I would consider it the same. Because he technically got voted out in a position where they didn't know that, like, that, he wasn't going to... That essentially, he got voted out, like, where they didn't know that he was going to stay in the game, so, yeah. Essentially the same thing. Did it again? What was this? Spicy V said the R word? Well, that's not good. I forgot. Yeah, that was the thing, wasn't it? Totally forgot that was the thing in BBK 9. You would think they would edit that out. Like, are they really just, like, not paying attention at all to the digital dailies? Or whatever? Like, why didn't they edit that out? Is he locked for returning season? Yeah, like, I think he is if he wants it. I don't know if he wants it, though. We'll have to see. Dude, I could see him being one of these people that says that, like, okay, I'll come back until I win. But, he doesn't need Survivor. Like, his life's good without it. Like, he's rich without Survivor. Like, he talks about how, like, he would make more money, like, from working than he does from going on Survivor. So I'm like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know if he has that much of incentive unless, like, he really has this drive to play again. We've learned that a gun is surprisingly effective. I mean, like, you wouldn't think it would be in feudal Japan, but I guess it is. I'll see Anna Lee on the challenge. I think that'll be fun. I'll be honest, I completely forgot Anna Lee was a person until just now, but yeah, that'll be fun. Straight up, I was trying to think of, like, the cast of 35. I could only remember Greg and John. Actually, now I can think of Rob and Corey. Who was the other finalist team? Oh, Joel and Garrett. Joel and Garrett. I forgot about them. I really thought they were winning. Like, that was such a shock to me that they didn't win that season. I see Maria Morris losing finals for Final Boot. I think losing finalists, probably. I'm still a bit, like, I don't know where Charlie is going at this point, though. Because, like, if Charlie doesn't win, then, like, where does Charlie land, though? Like, are we being set for a Charlie boot soon? Because if it's not soon, then, like, when is it happening? Like, I don't think he's, like, the next boot. Like, I think Q's probably likely to go next. And after that, I mean, like, Hunter, I'm sure will be a big target, right? Final 4? Potentially. This is mid 1800s. Is that really? This is 1800s? That's way later than I thought it was. I thought this was like 1500s or something. Like, when does Ghoshima take place? Because I thought this was like around that time period. Let's see, Ghoshima. Yeah, 1274. Yeah, so that's like way earlier. Yeah, I thought this was like way earlier than 1800s. I mean, it's the... this guy's the doppelganger of that guy. When I watch Tough as Nails, I have no clue at this point. Probably not for a while. What about Trump? Charlie has a similar edit to Carson. Kind of. Yeah, actually, I never thought about that. Yeah, that's a decent comparison, actually. I didn't think about that until now. Would I replay the Arkham games? I would. I don't know, like, what incentive I would have for it soon, but I would. Like, in an ideal world, I would. It's just that, like, when, though. Um, but I love like that's like the only comment on the scheduling video on the VOD channel. It's like play the Arkham games. I would say like the issue with Arkham Knight though is that I can't stream it, the entirety of it, I should say. Or like the back third of the game is blocked off for recording on PlayStation, because that's back when companies did that for some reason. Because they were like scared of spoilers getting out when it's like, oh, spoilers are gonna get out anyway, so it's fucking stupid. But Arkham, Asylum and City, I would definitely stream. Even Origins, I could technically stream. So do own on Xbox. It's gonna be BBCan 12 now. Again, I still think Victoria's in the best spot. I am interesting how Victoria handles jury management though, because we've never really had to see her handle that, right? Because like she gets booted, like as first juror on BBCan 9. Like I would assume she's not going to handle it well. Like I could definitely see a world where she just like blows her jury prospects, but we'll have to see. Plan is to build up a Suicide Squad. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to play Suicide Squad so much that I need to play the Arkham games. Games that are like way better than it. Resident doesn't call season Gabon challenge. Wait, what are we talking about? Oh, we're saying that this is the new Gabon. Oh. I don't know if I would say this is Gabon, but it is a train wreck at this point. Like, I've always said that, like I think Gabon gets a bit too hyped up as like a train wreck. Like I don't think it's as big of a train wreck as people say it is. Most likely final 3 at this point. Kenzie Maria, and then who's the other? Venus, right? Yeah, I guess it's Venus. I think that's probably it. Kenzie Maria Venus. If not Venus, then like actually no, Venus is probably the most likely like final like losing finalist. I guess maybe you could like swap out Maria for Tiffany. I think that's a situation that could happen. He's like looking at the people that are left. It's like Q, I don't think is getting there. Again, Tiffany, I could see being a runner-up. I don't see her winning. Again, I think Kenzie's winning. Then again, Charlie, I don't think is gonna lose if he gets to the end. I just don't think he's gonna get there. Especially because like something I found like interesting was the Q confessional, right? Where the Q confessional, that was the secret scene. That like in it, it does like Q does say that about both Tevin and Charlie essentially, that they're like not going to win the game or whatever. They don't have, like, he doesn't know what they've done in the game or whatever, which is like interesting that that's there. So like I could see a practical world where Charlie gets the end and loses, but I don't think edit wise it makes sense, especially considering that was like cut from the show. So yeah, I think Charlie just doesn't get there. Maria, I think, can get there and will lose. Um, Ben, I don't think gets there. Like I do find it strange that Ben is like getting propped up as this threat to the point where like if he gets to the end and loses, then now that makes sense. Like why was any of that there then? I mean, too, that's probably not a right analysis of it because, like, obviously it's there. Like, if that were the case, it would be there to like prop him up as a formidable foe. But it's like it feels weird the way that they're handling it. Um, but yeah, like I don't think Ben makes it. And then what? Liz again. I don't think can win. Again, chance of making Final Three, but I still don't really think so. Um, Venus again, I think very likely to make it to the end, but if she does, she's like zero vote finalist. And then Hunter, I just think very unlikely to make it there. Gang Saba Venus being Kingmaker, aka influential juror. Interesting. What would that setup be though? I don't think she has influence at all. I think it's what we're being shown. Where I think she thinks she does, but I think every single time we see that she thinks she has something, she doesn't have that. Like I think she's constantly being proven wrong about her read on the game. It's where it's like I don't think we're supposed to be looking at Venus as like a reliable narrator. Do I think Kenzie betrays Ben? Probably not. I feel like that would be a weird turn. Like I could see her voting out Ben, but I don't think it would be a situation where like it's like set up as this like Cody Jesse blindside of Kenzie taking out Ben. Like I feel like that would be a weird payoff to their earlier scene of like him genuinely having a panic attack, and that's supposed to be this like sympathetic moment and everything. I feel like that would just be very strange if they turned that into like, oh, this is why this blind side's so brutal. It's like, okay, that's strange. I feel like Ben's too under edited to be losing fast. I don't think he is. I think he's prominent enough. The thing about Ben again that's weird is that we're getting a lot of talk about him, right? It's like, yeah, we're not getting like much from him, like him getting to talk about himself. Um, but he is like a pretty constant presence on the show. I feel like Charlie Ben make a move on Q and then target themselves. I'm like, I think Q is probably going out unanimously next. Like, I think that's the most likely outcome. Just like everyone agrees to vote out Q. Um, where's the game after that, though, is the interesting thing. Like, I think Hunter is probably just the number one target after that, right? Like, where's Hunter in the game at that point? Like, he has nobody, right? Tevin's gone. Again, then the +1 alliance is completely fractured. Q is gone. Like, he has nobody. So I think Hunter's probably the target at that point. I would not be shocked if, like, Hunter wins a few comps. It makes it, like, deeper into the game, but, like, he's not making it to the end either way. I think the interesting thing, does Kenzie take out Tiffany at some point? Is that something that's going to happen? I fear it's going to be 6 years since a woman win BB Can. I mean, I think Victoria's still in the best spot to win. It's just a matter of, like, does she fuck up her own jury chances? But yeah, the most likely final two at this point is Victoria and Anthony. It's just a matter of and like I think as of right now, I think Victoria handily beats Anthony, like by a lot. But I can see where Victoria fucks it up. How's sleep schedule? Not great, but not like terrible either. Like probably going to sleep at like 3:34 a.m. most days, which is like for a normal person terrible. But like outside of like stream days, I haven't gone to sleep beyond like 330 in a bit, so that's something. Um, I did really want to play more Persona 5 Tactica last night, though. Before I almost stayed up a bit later, but then I didn't. We saw Q take a lot of stock into people's favorite players. What would I say my favorite player is to avoid being targeted? Probably like Rupert. Yeah, Wu would be a good answer too. And to be fair, like the thing is, at the end of the day, I don't think it matters, right? I think the Q, I think he already has these preconceived notions, and then he just uses these as excuses to target you. Um, like I think he'll just make up a BS excuse of why your answer is a bad answer. Uh, Where like it's funny to be like Mariah mentioned this in her exit press that like it's really dumb that like Q is talking about how like oh I'm targeting you because your favorite player is this person. But it's like his favorite player is Jeremy. Like his favorite player is like one of the best players of all time. Um, it's like really it's like yeah like Jeremy versus fucking Mariah versus Aubrey. It's like Jeremy's a much better player than fucking Aubrey Bracco. Um, Need Q in next season, except for that. Oh yeah, I think Q is essentially like the modern day like coach, right? Like I think he's like the closest to coach we've had in a while. To where again, like I think they would want him for next returning season. Um, I just don't know if he would like have the desire to play again. Not too much on Mother Bracco. Aubrey's a good player. I mean, like, she's probably like what, like top 30 player of all time, maybe. I don't know. Is that too high? But again, like in comparison to Jeremy, it's not particularly close. Favorite player is Julie. Julie's erratic. She's not trustworthy. She'll flip on a dime. Yeah, I think he 100% can like BS like any fucking reason. Uh, Top 20 if we erase Edge of Extinction. I don't think. I think it's about the same. I don't fault her that much for Edge of Extinction. I think she had a massive target on her back to begin with. It's like yeah, she doesn't play it great, but I don't think it really like sunk her placement for me. Oh really, her her Game Changers game's not particularly great either. And even Ko Wrong is like one where like she gets saved by medevac, so I'm like, again, still a good player though. I feel like Hugh's actual answer would be I don't know who Jewel. Yeah, that's probably the actual. Yeah, that's too. Yeah. You're picking someone I don't even know who that is. That means you're a massive super fan. Uh, Her and Tyler are so similar. What are we talking about? Wait, where's this? This game's gonna take me so long, by the way. Again, we're still only on chapter 3 when there's like 14 chapters in this game. I mean, yeah, like for Xavier, it's like it's strange because like it's reindeer games. um, like the reason it dropped for me, like the thing is, like I already assumed those things coming out of BB Camp, fucking BB 23. But I think like reindeer games just like saw it like actually happen. So I'm like at that point, it's like, like am I really gonna like prop him up anymore then? Because I think I was like holding him like a bit higher just because like okay it's not a guarantee that this would happen if he came back, but then we saw him on Reindeer Games like oh no this is pretty much what would happen if he came back, so I'm like wait what, I have to buy multiple things? What if I don't want to buy it? Okay, cool. Um, Aubrey and Tyler have the same legacies. Are we talking about Tyler from Big Brother? Because not at all. I think they're very different, like radically different. Like I think Tyler's BB20 game is like a billion times stronger than Aubrey's Co Wrong game. Um, I think I think his BB22 game is one where like okay, he didn't play it great, but he's not on the bottom the entire time like Aubrey is. Um, on Game Changers. Um, and even then, like obviously there's just the mental health of it all too with Tyler. To factor into BB22. Like I don't think they're close at all. Um, I think like what BB22 told me is that I don't think Tyler is like meant to play Big Brother. Like I think he's like a very skilled Big Brother player, but one that just isn't naturally like wired for Big Brother. Um, and like we saw part of it in 20, but then like 22 like cemented even more. Or like with 20, it's like again he played very hard for first half of the game, and like by the second half, it's like he like stopped playing as aggressively, but like it was fine because like he already had the entire game set up, to where like he didn't need to do anything until like Final Four, and then he kind of screws things up. But when it came to 22, it's like he's in a worse position to start with. Um, and you just like tell like how like unmotivated he was to play the game like after like week 3. Um, then like he kind of gets his head back in the game like towards the end, but then like he already like burned so much capital by that point. Yeah, 20. Yeah, like BB20. Yeah, pretty much uh, a perfect experience for him. Outside of obviously winning at the end. Um, and yeah, like 22. He didn't even want to go. Right, that was the thing. Like Angela like convinced him to go. Um, distract from the fact that he cried when David Alexander went home. I mean, I don't think it's because David Alexander actually went home, though, right? It was because he knew he was fucked. Uh, I think people saying BB Can is so much better in the US because it had fights, even though BB25 had multiple fights. Yeah, that's definitely true. I will say I think like at least feels like we have more fights in BB Can, but and like I think a lot of that this season came from like Bailey. Like Bailey's very prone to getting the fights. We obviously had like Kayla getting the fights on her way out and stuff. Um, we had like obviously the tension between like Dennis and Vivek and stuff. Um, or BB25, it's like yeah, we had like Sri and Felicia. We had I really just Felicia in general. Um, that's about it though, right? It's just a lot of Felicia. Oh, like Corey and Jared, yeah. I still like that's still an insane week. Like I was actually like someone posted the clip of Cameron winning HOH again. It just reminded like how great that week was. Like if only the rest of the season was that good. So I think Kayla going home is solely due to Anthony. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say like like I think he definitely put the things into motion. Um, I think part of it's also Kayla's poor play at points. Um, I think it's Kayla's sloppiness mixed in with like Anthony, um, again trying to save Lexus is also an aspect of it. Um, but really, I mean that's like a large reason why this happens, right? It's like it's because V and Avery wanted to target Lexus. And obviously Anthony realized that, well, if Lexus goes, then I'm fucked. So many fights we saw on BB25. We had to see the pivotal moments. Well, I mean, like were there that many when the feeds were down? Like Corey and Jared was on the feeds. I forgot, was Felicia that actually? I guess both. Yeah, both the big Felicia fights were off feeds, weren't they? Where I go subscribe to their membership? I mean, it's on the YouTube channel. There should be a join button. Which, by the way, we are at 60 memberships, so that's something. Which, again, way higher than I thought there would be. Like, I came into it like thinking, okay, I'll be happy if I get like 10. The fact that it's 60 is pretty insane. Yeah? America and Jag. Yeah, I mean, like, actually, how much of a fight was that? Like, it's not like Jag fought back, right? Like, that was more so just America, like, upset at Jag, right? I mean, there should be. Again, it should literally be right next to the subscribe button. Again, if it's not on the iOS thing, that should, like, that's pretty dumb, right? Like, you would think YouTube would want to fix that. Like, that's a pretty massive oversight. Okay, cool. What's the amount that would make me continue the channel forever? I mean, like, enough to live on. Which, again, still not that close to that, but... Again, like, if I could do this full-time for the rest of my life, I would do it. It's just that we're not at that point. Like, it is a nice, like, extra, revenue source. So again, like, I don't really have to worry about money, considering, like, the extra money I make on YouTube and stuff. So, like, obviously I'm not rich or anything, like, but I'm not, like, I don't know, paying that close attention to how much money I'm spending on, like, everything. So it's like, again, for like an extra revenue source, it's decent. My video game fund, I mean, partially. I think it's like when I see a game for like, oh, did I actually die at the end? That's so stupid. I was not paying attention. I did not realize I was that close to dying. But yeah, like whenever I see a game that's like $20, $30 or whatever, I'm like, yeah, why not? I'll fucking buy it. That's like a game I have interest. Obviously, not just like any random game. But any game that I have like actual interest in playing at some point in my life. Everyone has an Android. I mean, maybe they fucking should then. Or at least like not buy in the Apple of it all. I've always just not liked Apple as a company. But I've always hated using like max at school and stuff. They pay a lot of taxes, yeah. I mean, like, yeah, like, so essentially, like, when you get, like, revenue from YouTube and Twitch and stuff, like, none of that is, like, with any taxes withheld. So you pay that at the end of the year and everything. Like, if I was, like, if it was actually, like, my main revenue source, I believe you would have to pay it quarterly, I believe is how that would work. Or I believe that's how it works with, like, self-employed people. They like, pay taxes quarterly. But because it's not, like, my main revenue source, I don't have to. At least I haven't. I don't know. Maybe I do have to, and I just don't know it. But like I haven't, at least. But yeah, it's like yeah, like it's a decent chunk. At the like when I do eventually pay taxes. I'll obviously make as much the Paul brothers, I'm sure. Yeah, I don't have state tax. So maybe it isn't. Maybe I wouldn't have to anyway then. Because Florida doesn't have state income tax. This game show tax apply to anyone who's the first boot and given money for peering? Yeah. Applies to anybody that makes money from any game show. Yeah, like even like prizes on like again, Amazing Race, when they like win, like it's not even like actually just money, but like again, like when like Juan and Shane got first place, they won $5,000. They have to pay taxes on that $5,000, and it's the 40% that you have to pay in game show tax. And it's the same thing that's like when you win like a trip on the Amazing Race, or like when you win a trip on like Wheel of Fortune. Do you win trips on Wheel of Fortune? I meant to say Price is Right? I think that's... Anyway, whenever you win something on, like, any of these shows, you have to still pay the taxes on the worth of that thing you've won. So that's why, like, with, like, Dreams on... very cool. On Fiji. I believe, like, what happened is that he couldn't even, like, pay the taxes on the car, right? That he won. Because, like, you still have to pay the 40% of what the car is worth. So it's not even like you're actually getting a free car. You're essentially just getting a car for, like, 60% off. Is more so what it is. Okay, what the fuck? Ken's no longer most professionals. Yeah, Q did pass her by like Q is number one by a lot at this point. But why is this guy a fucking pain? Okay, I hit the wrong button. That was me being dumb. Oh, what the fuck? Okay, what the fuck? That's pretty ridiculous. We had to make 2 declaration of revenues. I mean, yeah, like in, like, I believe that's the way it is here. If your state has income tax, but Florida doesn't have income tax. So it's like I don't have to file state taxes because Florida doesn't have income tax to begin with. But I believe like if they did, then I would have to. Which again is one of the benefits of fucking living in Florida, I guess. Wheel of Fortune has prize puzzles in their often trips. Yeah, I feel like I remember there was like at least some trip involved. Even if you win a car in Mr. Beast's video, you have to pay taxes? Yeah, same thing there, too. Yeah, like, supposedly, I believe property taxes are high in Florida, but I don't own property. But I believe like a large reason why taxes are low in Florida is because of like how much tourism there is, right? I believe that's a factor into it. Is that they make so much money from the tourism that that's why they're able to keep taxes lower? I believe. Um, I am not a fucking tax expert. um, where's 46 the new era ranking? I mean, it's still not high. Big, how big's my part? Not particularly big. Technically, it's classified as a studio, even though it's not actually a studio. It's technically like a one bedroom, one bath, but it's like, yeah, it's not that big. Tax for the rich should be the wait taxes. You mean like taxing the rich more? Is that what you're saying? Which yeah, obviously. Fair catch is using tax. I mean, like I've only been able to play as, well, I named the main character like Joker. Duh, Joker's like what you call him, right? Joker, Morgana, the new character, and then On. Those are the only ones I've been able to play as so far. Because yeah, I'm still only like 3 hours in. Like I literally just got On. Guy or Jack? Jack's better than Guy. And Guy missed like, well, like most of the post merge. Yeah, I don't think 46 can beat 45. I think it could still beat 44 and possibly 43. I think it could probably match 42 and probably wouldn't beat 41. Yeah, it's like I think at this point it's like yeah, it's at best third, but even then not not likely. Like unless like this end game's like really insane. But I'm not really expecting it. But again, like Jeff did hype this up as like one of the most cutthroat casts. It's like, I don't know, maybe. Which I don't know, I think today like we got an example of that, right? Like the fact that Q was like so willing to cut Tiffany at like a moment's notice. And that was something at least. First Kingdom in Persona 5 Tactica is the longest one. There's only 4. Yeah, I looked up a guide to just like see how the game is broken down. And yeah, I did see that there were like only 4 kingdoms. Basically the first one's the longest one, which I guess would make sense. Obviously they have to like set up a lot. Chapter 4 again out of 14. I guess this was a fun blindside, but it didn't have much gravitas to it. I agree. Like to me, it would have been a grander blindside if Tiffany went home. Especially if Tiffany went home with an idol in her pocket. I think that would have been even more. Would have been better. But yeah, I think the fact that that it was just Tevin, who again like was like a big player, but just like something about his edit like never really felt like he posed much of a threat really. Even though I guess they did like constantly talk about how like, oh, he's the king and that sort of thing. But like I don't know, it never really felt like his edit like gave him that much to do outside of I guess targeting Soda. Oh yeah, I guess yeah they did also prop this up as one of the best rivals, but yeah, I thought it was fun. I don't know if it's like I don't know if it makes my top 10, but it was a fun tribal though. Definitely best of the season. Thought that one's worst moves when he didn't vote for Soda and Soda Boot. That's whatever. I don't think that really changed that much. No, I think if like he was actually gonna genuinely try to like because he did say that right that he was like okay so like Soto doesn't know that I'm in on it. It's like if he was gonna go to Final Tribal and try to pretend like he wasn't in on it, that's really dumb. Uh, but I think like yeah, like using his vote to split in case of a shot in the dark and everything, like that's fine. No, YouTube's not allowing me to join my like like go. Have you tried going on desktop? Yeah, it should be there. Was the initial plan targeting Tevin? Like, which initial plan are we talking about? Like, I mean, coming into the round and everything? No, right? Like, really, it didn't become the plan until wasn't it after immunity? Like Liz mentions it before immunity, but I don't think she actually like enacts until after, right? Transfer marketing, I guess. But again, like Australian Survivor says that like every week though. Like Survivor doesn't. Again, Survivor US. Got to do a post-season interview with the semifinalists from France Got Talent. That's random as fuck, but okay, that's cool. Got Professor Layton 1 on mobile. I didn't even know it was available on mobile. That's kind of random. What do I have? I have one of them on DS. I think it's the second or third one, though. Always wanted to play those games, though, but probably genuinely won't find the time ever. Like Tevin going regardless of Q wanting to quit? Yeah, 100%. Like, yeah, that didn't change anything. Khan got eliminated. I'm a celebrity. That's a shame. I didn't pay attention to it at all. But okay. Doesn't Dave Forster as a executive producer ever like him? For the most part. Like, I still like he still does support like some of the worst things about Australian Survivor, but again, I think he's better than like he's the best executive producer we've probably had. So at least that's something. What would be okay if BB Can or Australian Survivor being canceled? I think those would be the roughest ones to get canceled. Of the not U.S. Survivor, like I guess Survivor U.S., Big Brother U.S. I think are like the main shows, right? Like I think if they get canceled, I'll be actually devastated. BB Can Australian Survivor are like the next step. It's like I think those also I would not want to get canceled. I think I'll probably be more okay with BB Can I think than Australian Survivor. But still, I wouldn't want either of them to be canceled. Like, Survivor SA though, I think I'm fine with, to be honest. It's like I really like Survivor SA for what we got, but like I'll be okay if we never get another season. Same thing goes with like BBAU, obviously, even more so. Same thing goes with Survivor UK. Again, I like Survivor UK season 1, or like again the reboot. Again, if we never get a season 2, it's a shame, but I'm not like that heartbroken over it. So Australian Survivor has more to give. I would agree with that too. BB Can's still better than US. Maybe. I think the experience. It's like BBS is just too long, right? I think it's the main issue, and like, I think like BB Can is BB Can's this like weird thing, right? Where like there's like points where it listens to its fans, but there's other points where it doesn't, right? Like obviously like getting rid of the live feeds and all that is like terrible. And like really, I think Taryn said that like something that I do agree with in the sense that like it seems like there are people like on the lower levels of BB Can that get it and that like do want to make the best product possible, but then there's the higher ups that don't give a shit about the show and then they kind of ruin it for everybody. to where like they are like the ones that like got rid of the live feeds that um like try to like make up these like four storylines and everything. Where like I feel okay, what is going on with the cutscene there? That looked weird. Um, but again, like you can clearly tell, like there are like again, Arista is someone that clearly cares about the show. Oh yeah, and they have sponsors as well. Yeah. Um, and like even though Arista is like is technically executive producer, I don't think she has much of a say really in anything. Um, for like yeah, if she did, then like I don't think we would have no live feeds. But again, the fact that they like made comps equitable this season, I think is already showing that again they cared. Like they realized the issue that was there last season, what people were complaining about, and they fixed that. Which is something I don't know if BBUS will ever do at this point. So like at least there's that. So I might bring back Strawberry Cat. Yeah, I know that. Which again, like the problem is that again with format changes, that more than likely means public vote, right? Like I feel like that's probably what they'll end up doing, is bring a public vote aspect to it. I think BB will go down to 85 days. Now there's a writer strike. Yeah, I think this season, yeah. I think it'll go back to what it was with 23 and 24. Which even in itself is still too long. Again, it's not as long as 25 was, obviously. Which was like really too long. But I still think 20, like the length 23 to 24 is still like slightly too long. I think BB Can is probably like a little bit too short too. Like I'm realistically like 85 days is like that's fine. Like I think in ideal world it would be like yeah like 75 ish days. Where I think like BB Can is only 69 days. I think that's too short. But like I probably would rather have too short than too long. Kind of. I don't know. This season feels like really abbreviated though. Like this season feels like it went by like super quickly. We're like what, less than a month away from the finale? Actually, I believe we're like 3 weeks away from the finale, aren't we? Like something like that, 3 or 4 weeks. Which again, the fact that we're like that close to the end is pretty insane. And it's weird too because like this season started with less people. Like we only had 14 people here, and we've only had like one like double eviction week so far. Well, we obviously had like a non-elimination first week, but still, it's like it's weird how despite all that, like the end game has to be like a bit rushed here. There we go. I think the public loves Ferrari K. I don't think they did. Not the UK public. Again, like Ferrari K bombed ratings wise. Like I mean, it didn't do like the worst ratings in the world, but like considering its time slot, which was a very very good one, it definitely underwhelmed. And yeah, I think it just got off to a rough start, and people just didn't give it much of a chance after that. I think is the issue. Because again, the first like what 3 weeks of the show were were dull. I mean, and, like there are already articles after week one talking about how boring the show is. Where, I think it like just got off to a rough start and wasn't really able to recover after that. Really want BBUS to do a pre-merge double one season? Yeah, I would like a pre-jury double. Yeah, I would too. I don't know why it doesn't happen more often. Really. I mean, like with BBUS, I don't believe it's ever happened, right? I believe every double eviction has been post-jury. But even like BB Can's only done it like what, twice? Maybe 3 times. Like even BB Can, I feel like could do it more often. Well, yeah, okay, yeah, 25, yeah. Technically it was pre-jury, but even then it was followed up by Zombie Week. Which, to be fair, like I think it's probably how you handle it. I think you have a double eviction early on, and then do like some sort of buyback. I think I'll be like 100% fine with that. Pre-jury buyback. Because that way it also like speeds up the process to get to the buyback. While also making it so the person that got taken out by the double isn't like completely screwed. Um, where like it doesn't feel like they got completely just like sniped out of the game. At least they had like a chance to get back into it. Measure quadruple eviction. I mean, what would that even be? MC Bin Laden? What does that even mean? Remember Zombie Week? Yeah. Greatest week in Big Brother history, obviously. Wait, why'd the fucking textures just... Okay, like he looks weird, doesn't he? It is like the first and second juror timing of doubles as well. Yeah, that's fine too. I'm trying to remember like when we've had that. So like 15, right? Candace was the first juror, and then Judd was the second juror. We've had the weird one in like 14, where that was one where like Boogie was the last pre-juror, right? And then Ashley was booted into double, and she was the first juror. Like that was kind of a weird way of handling that. Yeah, Brazil's something like that. Like it's still like an HOH, I believe. But yeah, the public still votes people out and votes for the winner. 17, yeah, 17 had that too. About halfway through Firewatch. Why are you playing Firewatch? It's kind of a random game for you to be playing right now. I love Firewatch. It's a great game. It's not that long of a game. I mean, it's only like a, 4-hour game? I played it in like one stream before. Let me make a manifest for bad graphics in video games. I mean, yeah, I don't mind like bad, like, not like AAA graphics and stuff like that, personally, but it is jarring where like, I don't know, it just like all of a sudden looks worse than what it did before. Does Rob's Dondi game affect my... Oh, Rob Mariana. No, it's about the same. Like, it's not much different than what we saw in, like, Winners at War. It's actually better than what we saw in Winners at War. It's like, I have a very good sense of Rob as a player. I don't feel like much can really change at this point. Like, unless he were to go back to Survivor and somehow win, which would be really insane. Like, win without Edge of Extinction. Like, outside that, it's like, I don't know what else there is to really get from Rob. Name 5 people from Circle Brazil. Let's see if we can actually do that. Domaresk, right? Lorraine. JP? That was his name, right? The one guy that got all the newbies together. What was her name, the winner? Marina? Was that her name? Something like that, right? Gable, right? Is that his name? The guy that the Twitch streamer guy? Is his name Gable? Abel? Was there a guy named Abel? Was that Lorraine Showmance guy? Anyway, I feel like I can kind of remember people. I'll be honest, I actually think I might remember more of them than I would France. Like, I'm trying to think of France. Like, I know Romaine. I know Ines. I know Maxime. I think that might be it that I can remember by name. I forgot the second place girl. I forgot what her name is. Oh, Cedric. Yeah, Cedric. That's the guy. Was it Elia or something like that? That was her name. Or, it was something like that, right? It starts with an E. Oh, see you later, biggest party, even though you probably left a while ago at this point. Did a rewatch of BB5, and I think I ranked Drew too low in the player ranking. I think she should be above Daniel Reyes. I think my issue with Drew is I think he just doesn't know the game well strategically. Where I can definitely see the argument for sure. Like I think Daniel Reyes is a player that like I probably do have as high as she is simply because of like legacy. And like more so like what she did for the game more so than like the practicality of like how she would play on any given season. Where I think there's like an aspect of like, okay, like she played in BB3 and considering BB3 like how impressive her game is for that time. But like the realistic thing again, especially like seeing out the reindeer games too, it's like, yeah, if she were to play again, she's probably like even like without the reputation of it all, I think she's probably still relatively early boot. Like she probably messes up her own, like she probably blows up her own game. Though, yeah, Drew, like, again, fits into, like, the Haydens, the, Cody's, I guess, of the world. He's, like, yeah, pretty well-rounded players. I think he is the weakest strategically, though, of them. Where I just don't... Like, I think, essentially, Diane had to do the strategy for the duo. And really, I think he, like, largely gets benefited by Diane, like, in the game. Where it's, like, I think through the, like, yeah, he had such a good relationship with Diane to where, like, Diane was 100% loyal to him. But it was also Diane's connections that kept him safe. Like, it wasn't the connections that he had. Like, he didn't have, like, much of a connection to, like, Karen and to, like, Nokomis. Yet, yeah, Diane did, and that's what kept him safe. Which again is still impressive that he was able to like have these like bonds, or like have this bond with Diane to where through his bond with Diane that kept him safe. But like it's still like very much reliant on Diane's positioning in the game. Where like a lot of the reason why they don't go for Drew during a lot of the seasons is because they're scared of like what Diane will think if they went for Drew. The game played that well. I think that is like fair. Yeah, if Drew were to come back, like now that he knows the game, has been a fan for years, he probably does play better. How's the internet? I don't know. I mean, like outside of like stream buffering a second ago, or like probably like 10 minutes ago now, or whatever. And it's been fine. I haven't had like it cut out at any point. Okay, what was that? I'm not even in the right spot at all. Okay. Success in be Brazil, name Carol. It's evicted 99.17% of the vote. I mean, like, I say, like, not, like, personally, but I'm talking more so, like, game-wise. Like, he had no real, like, game connection. Like, they had no, like, alliances together. Like, Nokomis had, like, no reason to really be keeping Drew around. Outside of, like, her connection to Diane. I think Drew has that uncanny ability that a player like Cody has, where literally everybody likes him. Yeah, again, like Drew's a very like liked person, mainly because he's a very attractive straight white guy. I guess to be fair, it's like straight is like debatable at this point, but like at least at the time of the show, to where like he's just like this guy that's gonna be naturally liked just because of who he is like outside of the show. more so than like anything he like actually does. There's gameplay of a... What kind of game is it? Because that's the mobile game, right? The Persona 5 mobile game. Okay, am I at least going in the right direction? I am... kind of? Daniels would have voted for Jag because of his speech. Is that really what he said? Jag's final statement was a little bit risky but paid off, saying he was masterful and asking the jury to do the right thing. Could have been a turnoff, however his strong conviction seemed persuasive, in my opinion, sealed him to win. Yes, definitely that sealed him to win. Plays like Persona 5? Oh, that's cool then. How much of a story is there to it though? I guess that's really like the big thing with that. Could you Heroes Villains was actually Heroes Villains? That would be funny, actually. I did do, like, literally the video I prepped earlier today, right before Survivor started, was, what if Survivor Heroes of Villains US was, a half newbie season? Like, in the Australian Survivor Lite. Which is, like, a really dumb video. Actually, I've been prepping a lot of those really dumb videos recently. The idea who True Daniel vote for in every season. Yeah, I wonder. But then I could just cheat and look at all the, all of his blogs. Might give her BB endgames? I don't know. Like, most endgames aren't that good, though, right? Like, I think there's, like, only a handful that are good, right? There'll be like mobile aspects to it. I'm sure there's definitely going to be like some sort of microtransaction to it, right? I've never played Genshin, but also I know Genshin's like a big thing. You can. Well, I was thinking of just US, but like with US, it's like what, like 14. I don't know. Other ones are that good. Like, I don't know. 10s is okay. 24. Like, it has a great final 2. Like, as in, like, Taylor's speech and everything. Like, everything up to that point is just kind of... I mean, I guess, like, Final 5... Was it Final 5? Yeah, Final 5 is good. Dude, if I'm doing endgames, I feel like I would do Final 5 on. I feel like Final 6 doesn't feel like endgame yet. I feel like Final 5... Like, I think at the point where... Like... Where there's less people in the game than there would be in a veto competition. I think is what I would consider endgame. So, like, I think, like, the point where, like, veto competitions are, like, fundamentally, like, different at that point. 17... Yeah, 17 is good. But yeah, like, 25 is bad. Kind of. Actually, like, 25, there's, like, some intrigue in the fact that is Jag actually going to be this dumb and take Matt to the end? But... yeah, I mean, still bad, though. Yeah, 24 is, like, again, Final 5 round was good. Final 4 and Final 3 rounds are kind of whatever. 23 was bad. Because it's just Kylan handing Xavier to win. 22 was bad because it was just Cody. Again, there was at least a chance of Christmas winning the veto, but that was the only chance of any intrigue. 21. Well, Final 5 was good. Then 4 and 3 were frustrating. So, 20 was boring. 19's was kind of like, I don't know. It's I feel like the in-house stuff was bad, but we got like a lot of good jury segments during that point, and then the final 2 stuff is really good. Um, 18. What's Final 5 and 18? Victor Boot? Eh. Final 4 is decent. The Final 3, Paul taking Nicole's pretty insane. And obviously good Final 2. Also, Mariana and Julia Ruiz. Who the fuck are they? Who the fuck are Mariana and Julia? I have no memory of these people. Straight, I don't think I could tell you like half the teams on Amazing Race 12. But actually, really, not even, like, I think I can't even tell you more than like 3 teams on Amazing Race 12. Okay, maybe I can, looking at it. But still, like, Ari and Stella would not have been able to name them. Kat and Pat, who the fuck are they? Or Kate and Pat? Mario and Julia, no clue who they are. Lorena and Jason, I remembered. Shauna and Jennifer, probably would not have remembered. Azaria and Hank, Drea, whatever, I remember them. Ken and Vixen, I remember, obviously. Nathan and Jennifer, who the fuck are they? Nicholas and Donald, I kind of remember. Ron and Christina, obviously, I remember. And then TK and Rachel, I remember, just because they're winners. To be honest, if it wasn't for that fact, I probably wouldn't remember them. 11 was solid. Yeah, 11 was pretty decent. See stream buffering a bit. Alright. But yeah, 13, yeah, it was meh. 12 was boring. Yeah, 10 was good. Again, I think 10 was good. Final 3 rounds, whatever. But like Final 4, Final 5 were pretty good. And BB9s was actually pretty good. Yeah, so actually, maybe there are more that are actually pretty good than I thought. BB8s was meh, good-ish. I mean, like, in the sense that, like, yeah, it's at least interesting to see Dick and Danielle, like get to the end. Again, is it, like, my preferred outcome from, like, a gameplay perspective? No, but it's still a good storyline. What if Adam Pike was on every season of Big Brother? Obviously. That's obviously something everyone needs to know. PB7 is great. Yeah. Well, I mean, like, Final 5 was whatever, but, like, and 2 for Final 5 was perfect double. But, yeah, Final 4, obviously, good. I did not watch the Shimmer. I think it's still on my watch later. I have so many videos on my watch later. How many videos do I have on my watch later? I think I have, like, 1,000. Oh, wait, no, I went to the wrong thing. Where is it? Okay, cool. I literally... Like, I opened up the wrong YouTube thing, like, twice in a row. Where's my watch later? There it is. I have 950 videos on my watch later. Not Big Brother, Australian, Survivor Brains for Braun. Yeah, I mean, I think in terms of Survivor endgames, that's definitely up there. I mean, yeah, BB6 was just, like, yeah, I mean, that was pretty dull. It was just Chanel winning out until she doesn't. Yeah, BB5 is pretty good. BB4 is okay. Yeah, it's okay. Dragged out on the show, though, which is the issue. But decent gameplay stuff happening. BB3 is good with the Marcellus vote off. Outside of that, it's kind of whatever. Still, I'm still pretty like insane that they vote out Lisa, or they vote out Amy instead of Lisa. But other than BB2, dragged out on the show, but again, there's interesting stuff happening at least. BB4 just sucks at the season. I think I'm higher on BB4 now than what I used to be. And what did I put on this new season ranking? I mean, like, it's still not high. It's still like, I don't know, like 5 spots from the bottom or so. But I don't hate the season like I used to. What is this? Recasting Dancer's favorites. Oh, Eric Reichenbach wins that season? Thank God. Fucking Malcolm's the first boot. Oh, wait, what did I did actually run the simulation. So, like, yeah, recently I've been doing a lot of recasting videos. I actually ran some of the simulations. I'm trying to remember which ones they were. Oh, by the way, today I also prepped the recastings for Cambodia. What if there were no previous returning seasons video? I actually really like that list. I think that's actually a really fun video idea. Like, obviously it's fucked because it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, obviously without previous returning seasons, then like certain other players' legacies are affected by that. But still, whatever. I still think it's a fun video idea. Of like, okay, like if like Rupert never came back, like would he still be in consideration by that point? If Russell Hantz never came back, would he still be in consideration for second chance? That sort of stuff. I think it's kind of fun to talk about. And also, I did like a full on, like, because like obviously like I could have just recasted the cast itself. What I did is recasted the entire voting pool. So like again, like I recast the entire like 32 people that you could have voted for, and then also did a predicted who would have gotten voted in. G is king, sure. 2, 4, 16, 19, 22 are your bottom tier seasons. That's about right. Again, I have 19, the highest of those 4. That's about right though. Actually, maybe do I have 19 above 4? I don't remember anymore actually. Let's see. By the way, it is pretty insane that like my Big Brother winner ranking like has over 100 views before it even comes out. Actually, my BB5 retrospective has 123 views. Let's see, what are the other ones? Oh, it's Purple Player video this Saturday? I didn't even realize that. Yeah, top 10 players get a purple edit. But yeah, it's kind of insane to see that, though. Actually, what's my least viewed member-only video right now? It's my Mighty Morphin Power Ranger video. Only 10 people have watched it. What a tragedy. And Watch Dogs has 20 views. Last of Us Cinematic ranking only has 20 views. Red Ranger ranking has 47 views. I feel like that's kind of high for the Red Ranger ranking. Oh no, Kunoichi video has 10 views. I missed that, which that makes sense. I would have expected that one to be the least viewed. Yeah, most viewed is the BB5 retrospective. And then it's the winner ranking. Yeah, where is the... Wait, why am I not doing auto on his? Yeah, where is 19? Yeah, I have 19 right above 4. Yeah, 22, then 2, then 16. Well, I mean, 1 is at the bottom, but whatever. Yeah, 22, 2, 16, 23, 4, 19. Is Brett number 1 in the purple edit video? I believe so, but I generally don't remember that video anymore. Like that's a video I made like a year ago now, right? When did I make that video? Let's see. Like that's one that's been in the back burner for a while. June of 2023, so almost a year ago, like 10 months ago. But I believe he's won. Like that would make sense to me. Uh, there's someone that only watched me for my gaming content. That's kind of funny. That's something that again is the fuck thing about like making the channel the way I do is that obviously like there are like some people that are probably there just for like my Walking Dead retrospectives, right? And they're fucking getting barraged with fucking Survivor videos every week. Um, by the way, it is insane like how many views those end up getting. Like the views have died down on those videos now. My Walking Dead, well, like really both of them, the season one, season two retrospectives. But I believe they both ended up like I believe I saw my season one was at like 17,000 views. I don't know how much the other one was season two, but I believe it's more. Yeah, season one's at 17.3 thousand. Season two is at 20.3 thousand. Which again, the fact that made got 20,000 views is insane. Um, which it's died since then. Again, it was consistently getting like 100 views or so a day. I don't even think it's yeah, it's getting like 30 views. My season two one is getting 30 views. Season one's actually doing better now. It's getting like 50 views a day. My Detroit video is actually kicking off a bit. Like that video is starting to get some views. It's still only at like 5,000 right now, but like it's getting like 100 views a day right now. So that's something. Um, those are two rumored. I have not seen it yet. Like I seen again spoiler for Channel 40. I see like people were talking about the KC thing. I haven't seen who the other one is. How would Bailey make top 10 BB Can players of all time? I mean, I think it'll be tougher to make top 10 of all time unless she goes on to win. Um, but I do think Bailey is a pretty good player. Like I think her issue is the fact that she's just too loyal to the women. Okay, what do I need to check? Um, but like I think considering her like position in the game, like considering that fact, like I feel like she is playing it well. I mean, like she's gotten to the point now where like V trusts her more than like she trusts Kayla, and like took out Kayla before her. So I mean, that's something. Current war pick. We're talking about Survivor. I mean, it's still Kenzie. It's by a lot. It's probably by even more at this point. Like we're at the point where like Kenzie's like just probably the winner. And if not, then like yeah, Charlie's the number two. But like it's probably Kenzie. Um, Watching Traders AU1 and this is so correct when he says the best reality TV endgame. I don't know if I would say personally that's the best reality TV endgame, but it is very good though. Is 46 a worse version of 44? No, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's any version of 44. It's like a worse version of 42, maybe? No, actually, that's not right. Actually, I guess it's closer to 44 than 42. I don't know, what is a better comparison? I don't know. I think it's like, I look at it that similar of a season now. Where like there's a bit more like darkness to it than 40, where 44 is like the most lighthearted season that could ever fucking exist. Wait, what am I actually doing? By the way, I did see that Laced Up Lauren loves 44. Well, I haven't finished watching her 44. Like I'm literally only like 2 episodes into 44, but I did watch the beginning of her watching 45, and she talked about how like last season was one of her favorites. So there we go. Uh, and maybe the casuals just do love 44, which is funny because again like I'm pretty confident like Carolyn was like the fan favorite for 44. I believe she didn't like Carolyn. Like I believe she loved Jam Jam and Carson, but not Carolyn. Male rumor eliminated is Devin. That seems like too good to be true. Like that just seems like someone like making up the dream eliminations. Uh, Blaze Final 3 with Avery and Spicy V booster game. Yeah, obviously. But the thing is, like, I mean, they've like both Avery and Spicy have had like numerous other Final Threes. Um, like it's obviously the fact that Bailey would like is seemingly able to get them. Wait, her name's fucking Haruka. Oh wait, is this supposed to be Haruka? Like that never even fucking clicked in my head. Okay, cool. Um, yeah, mom really liked to get three other than Carolyn. Interesting. It's weird because like you get like everyone on Survivor, like yeah, everyone like 46 was talking about how much they love Carolyn. Like really, actually, now I'm thinking about it. Like I don't think any when people were asked their favorite player, I don't think anyone said Jam Jam, did they? Or like everyone was talking about Carolyn. Like no one talked about Jam Jam or Carson. Pretty sure follows a lot of eliminated players. Just followed Devin yesterday. Well, please make it Devin. If Devin's gone, I feel like that's probably a step in the right direction, right? They just don't want Loyal Bailey. Yeah, I think they are at this point. Especially now they've cut Kayla. Um, like I mean, I think like it'll be interesting to see how like the thing is like I don't get how Avery is perceiving the game at this point. Because I think for Avery, getting her Kayla is just like really idiotic, right? Like I don't think there's a single good reason for her to get rid of Kayla. Um, for V, I think there actually is like a rationale. Like I think probably did it a little bit early-ish, but like I think like again, Kayla is someone that is going to eventually go for V. So I think taking the shot now, it's not the worst thing in the world, especially because like again, she's still well positioned even without Kayla there. But for Avery, I think it's just all around bad. If Devin and Casey go, you don't have Tori left. Well, that's what you get for betting on the boring people. Yeah, Avi for Davis Goliath didn't get mentioned either. Oh, what travesty. Yeah, that's how you know this isn't like 44. No one mentioned Avi from Davis Goliath. Oh, 100%. I did like Devin at the time of Vendettas. Like, yeah, like when he was like, when he beat like Bananas and everything. That was, yeah, good moment. I just realized Bananas is still there too, isn't he? I like completely forgot about that until just now. Alex winning is the best reality TV moment of that year. I think it's good. Like it's a very like especially like the reveal to Craig. Like that's such a great moment. Like I literally rewatched AU1 not that long ago. What was that? It was like that was mid airing of Traders US 2. So like that was probably yeah, like 2 months ago or so. Yeah. Great moment. I don't know if the entire end game is like great. It's still very good though. But yeah, I think like the final round table is good. I think the like obviously get like turning on Marielle and then turning on Nigel, that's good. Um, I think the like in between of that, um, of like that in the final round table is like, it's whatever. It just kind of felt like pretty obvious that Alex was going to win at that point. Final 4 rounds one of the greatest displays of social gameplay I've ever seen. I feel like the final 3 round is better, isn't it? Oh no, final 4 rounds, yeah, when Lewis, okay, yeah, because Lewis is like, that was his name, right, Lewis? Yeah, wanted to go for Alex. And to be fair, like a lot of that stems from like earlier in the game, right? Because like the thing is that like Kate, Craig, and Alex had like a final 3 from like very early on. And that was just them sticking, like Kate just decided to stick to that instead of just taking the shot Alex there, banking on the fact that she thought that she could get Craig to flip on Alex, but then was wrong. Q guaranteed on 50 again. Like it matters if he wants it. I think they'll definitely ask him. Damn it. Yeah, Kara and Bananas, yeah. It's an episode of his podcast. Because I guess that's just the thing they allow him to do, is for him to like record episodes of his podcast while on the season. More, actually, I never thought about that. That's funny. Yeah, Q got more confessions in this episode than Heather got the entire season. Actually, really, he got more confessionals than, like, I believe half of the Dave vs. Goliath cast. Or not Dave vs. Goliath, than the Ghost Island cast. We're in the one episode. Like, we're in the one episode, I believe he got the same amount as Jacob Derwin, right? In 2 episodes? Which, like, Jacob Derwin, again, like, in Dave vs. Goliath somehow was the median. Oh, no, he wasn't even the median. He was top half, wasn't he? I think Desiree was the median. And she had, like, 12 or something, or 13 or something. Yes, because Mother Alex had such a good grip on Craig. I thank God she had a good grip on Craig. Juan and Shane were your winner picks for Amazing Race. Like, I'll be honest, I like barely like I didn't even know they were a team coming into the season. Like, I looked at the cast before, like I downloaded all the pictures beforehand, and I saw them on the show. I was like, who the fuck are these people? Jacob Derwin winning Survivor 50. Imagine Jacob Derwin's on Survivor 50. Is Jacob Derwin even around anymore? Not present in the Survivor circles, right? I'm sure you can find him online, but yeah, I don't think he's like super big in the Survivor anymore. Like, obviously, I assume it was a bad experience for him. I know he was at like an RTP event like a year or 2 ago, though. Any chance they've asked back V? I mean, there's a chance. I think she's burning that bridge, though. The more and more the season goes on. Where it's funny too, because like it feels like, obviously I've been portraying her negatively recently, but like it feels like as a whole the edit has been like very sympathetic towards her. So it really makes you wonder, like, again, like this could have been like if this was old school Survivor. Again, this would have been like so much worse, right? Please kill him. We're in Militia Training X, we're under-edited compared to men. I mean, that's just in general, but yeah, I mean, in David vs. Goliath, I mean, like, I know David and Adam were top professional getters. I'm trying to even think, like, who was the top woman? Was it Hannah? It probably was just Hannah, right? But even Hannah didn't have, like, the largest edit. Is 4748 filming soon? I believe so, right? 47 should. Somewhat soon. Wait, this is the same spot again. Yeah, I knew Sunday was like really under-edited. Um, then again, like Will was also like really under-edited. He just had like a massive spike at the very, very end. But like up to that point, like I believe he actually had less confessionals than Will for more of the season. Or no, fuck, less confessionals than Sunday for more of the season. But then just had this like big spike at the end that Sunday didn't get. Um, what is this? What an image. Is that everybody? Why does that seem so small? I guess that is everybody. Yeah, it is 10 people, huh? Oh, like Venus is just sitting there in the back. Like trying to like listen into the conversation. Uh, I actually don't know that for sure. If I were to guess about like this Prope's family stay of him in Fiji, if I were to guess, I would say they probably visit him at points. I don't think they stay, right? Especially, actually, I'm pretty sure they probably can't, right? I mean, like unless they're, I don't know, like because obviously it's like his kids aren't really his kids, right? It's like they're his wife's kids, and they have shared custody with fucking guy from Saved by the Bell. So like I doubt they would like. Yeah, they're 100% not staying with him the entire like 3 months of filming. Um, but I assume they like probably like make a visit at a point. I mean, like I would assume he probably goes back home for a bit like between seasons, right? They have like a week or so between filming of the season, so like I assume he probably goes home for a few days. Some editing in growls during. I did feel like it was fun. Like just the overall editing of that was weird. Like just like the slow mo on like Charlie biting the wood or whatever was very strange. A lot of that was very strange. I know the last person voted out without confessional on their boot episode is Denise Stapley. Oh, without confessional, yeah. I knew. Well, I didn't know that was the last person, but I knew Denise did get voted out without a confessional. Which is actually kind of funny considering like that was a 3-hour finale and like a genuine 3-hour finale. Like the fact that they couldn't find the time to give Denise one confessional on that is pretty humorous. Like honestly, like again, it was irrelevant. Like it was like she wasn't important to the story because like she only gets taken out kind of like pretty much by default. So where like all that happens at Tribal, and there wasn't really much you could do to like explain that beforehand. But you could have given her like a confessional. I would not say Xander's that likely. I would say Xander's possible. I wouldn't say likely. I would say Marianne, obviously, if it's winners, but I could definitely see a world where it's just second chance too, like 50. Yeah, Jonathan, I think is likely. I think Drea is likely. Jesse, Cody, Carla, yeah. Jam again if there's winners. I think Carolyn and Carson are likely. Cole Carson if he can do it. And also, too fair, Carolyn could say no. Yeah, D is likely. Caleb, I think Emily is... really, I think Emily's the biggest lock from 45 if she wanted it. But she's probably going to say no. Where again, Jeff called Emily one of his favorite players of all time. Like while the season was airing. So like, I think like there's no way that they don't want Emily. But then Q again, like I don't even know if Q is the biggest lock from this season. But I think Q is likely. Like really, I actually think Tevin might be more guaranteed than Q. Where like I could definitely see a world where like production is like he's like too much. To where like what if he comes back and like just wants to quit at the beginning? Like what if he like is like already in that state of mind? To where like I don't think it's like a lock that Q comes back, even if he wanted it. But I think it's very likely though. But yeah, I think like Tevin is someone that I could definitely see them really wanting back. Hunter, I think they really would want back as of right now, at least. But again, I think Hunter is like one of these that like there's a billion Hunters. Like, are they gonna remember him by 50? Probably, because he's only a year away. But like, still. Then what? Like, again, Venus, if she didn't blow up her spot, I could definitely see as a very likely returnee. Kenzie, depending on if she wins or not, is probably likely. Tiffany also seems to be liked by production. Cool. The question is, does any Sega come back? But production doesn't like Josh, though. They like Tevin. I would agree. I think Josh probably, like, is more fun on 44 than Tevin was on 46. But I don't think production ever really liked Josh that much. Well, again, Jeff loves Tevin. I think Jake is possible. I think Jake's gonna struggle by a time of 45, though. Or by time of 50, I mean. Where again, I've been putting together a lot of casting videos recently. And, like, Jake just simply does not make the cut. I don't think any of them, actually. I don't think he made the cut on any of them. I just think there's just too many people. Kelly's a possible one, but again, another one that's like, I just don't know if she makes it by time 50. Need Ben back so they can make another musical season? Sure. But I think that was like kind of underwhelming, right? Like Jeff, like before, like pre-season or whatever, or like episode 1 or whatever, was like saying this is the most musical season of the show. And it's like, I guess. I mean, we did get like what? We got the Taylor Swift battle thing. We got Soda and Tevin singing songs at points. But I don't know. I think I expected more. Oh, and Ben just doing what he's doing. But yeah, still, I think I expected more. Where's Matthew on my 44 player ranking? Lower. I don't know exactly where, but like if I were to guess, I would say probably around 10. Maybe a little bit lower. I think there's still like really like interesting plays he was doing. I just think at the end of the day, like it does seem like people caught on to what he was doing. People looked at him as sketchy. Shock 50 has a lot of 47, 40. I think we'll have a lot of. I think there could be a lot of 47, 48 people. I don't think there'll be a lot of 49 people. I think they'll save one slot, maybe 2 for 49. Probably 2, actually. I think that's what they've been doing recently. But yeah, I think there'll probably be at most 2 from 49. But yeah, I could see 47, 48 having more. The thing is, like, at the end of the day, like, there's not many slots to begin with. So, like, I think it's tough to see more than, like, three people from any given season. Just due to the fact that there's, like, uh, the fact that there's, like, there's no real room, considering, like, how many seasons there are to pull from, even just recently. And the fact that, again, it's probably going to be an 18-person cast. Like, yeah, again, it's just going to be tough to fit people. Hawkeye has no story content in this game, she's just for side. Well, thank God. And then all same types of people, whereas the women in the new era have more depth. I don't know. I think it's about the same. Yeah, I think it's the same both ways, really. I think both have like people that seem like they're similar archetypes. Both have people that are like unique. I don't know. I think it's the same either way. Um, is Bailey Tola's number 4? I don't fucking know. I don't know who fuck Tola's number 4 is. Uh, didn't Bailey want Tola out at the beginning of the week? I don't know. I don't think that's a real like. I don't think it's gonna be a lasting thing. I would agree, probably. I think I would want 50 to be a. At least, I think what I would prefer is that I want 2 returnee seasons relatively close to each other. I think I would want a returnee season for 50 and then maybe another one at like 54 or something. Yeah, I think I want one of them to be second chance 2, the other one to be a more general All-Star season. Probably 50 actually is better for the general All-Star season just because it's 50. But if I were to guess what 50 is going to be, I think it will be second chance. And if not second chance, then again, a cast that isn't trying to get the best of the best. I think 0% chance it's the Legends at War. Or anything Legends related. Like, Jeff has openly said that, like, we're not going to ever beat Winners at War. There's no point trying for 50. Would Dicey Aika Wong play Survivor? I love Aika Wong as a character. I don't think I need to see her on Survivor. I would rather see her on Big Brother again than Survivor. I don't think there's really much to gain from seeing her on Survivor. Like, I don't feel like she seems like the type of person who would excel at Survivor in particular. I think she's someone that's kind of like meant for Big Brother. I feel like casting the big names for women: Emily Carolyn, Marianne, who won't be forgotten. Where's Jake Sander Hunter? Well, yeah, but you're like not talking about the bigger locks from like Jonathan's a lock, Caleb's pretty locky, Jam Jam if they're including winners, Jesse, Cody. It's like I can go the same thing with the women of like people who I think will be replaceable over time. I think Lauren Harp, someone that's replaceable. Fucking Heidi is replaceable. Of people that are probable, but like still not like 100% locked in. How different are Jonathan and Hunter? Not that different, but like they are in the sense that I think Jonathan has a longer lasting legacy. To where, like, I think, like, 42 made such a big deal about Jonathan and his physical prowess. And, like, Jeff was, like, really hyping up Jonathan during that season. In a way that they're not really with Hunter. Like, I think Jonathan's by far the bigger priority over Hunter, but I could also see a world they cast both of them. No, I don't think they'll do a vote for second chance, too. I think it'll just be another... Like, it'll just be a returning cast. Because the issue of doing a public vote, too, is that they're incentivized to do that for the odd number season. Because it's weird to do a public vote and then not air that one, like, and then air, like, another season before that one. So, like, it's tough to do that for 50. So, like, even as is, they had to film 32 before 31. But then just air it first. However, like, in this world, it would be like one where, like, okay, they have to do... Well, I mean, yeah, they would just have to film 49 entirely and then do the public vote. But after... Actually, no, it just doesn't even make sense at all, really. Like, to even do a public vote for 50. Like, there's just not really a way to do it. Like, unless they have, like, a super fucking quick turnaround. Like, literally, like, what? A month turnaround? Which I guess, like, is possible, I guess. But, like, not likely at all. And it's just a 40, or Omer for 42, not likely. Like, possible, I guess, but, like, not likely. I mean, Jonathan was, like, under-edited in terms of, like, total amount of confessionals. But he was still, like, a massive presence on the show outside of confessionals. Oh, wait, where am I going? Wait, why am I always, like, up here when I have to go, like, down here? Cool. Yeah, there's a million wreckers. There's only one survivor. AK, again, coming from the show that's crowned 41 winners before him. But yeah, is Avery worse than Claudia? I mean, like, we'll have to see. Like, I think it's not, like, I think there's definitely a chance that, like, her game ends up being worse than Claudia's, but I think her, like, move here isn't as bad in the sense that, like, she's at least sticking to her group, right? It's like, yeah, she's, like, taking out, like, the person who should be her number one ally, which is bad, but, like, at least she's, like, sticking to her alliance. With Claudia, it's like her turning her back against her alliance, to go with Tai, which I think is worse. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't think Julie's that likely, though. Like, possible again. I think she'll probably be called, but I don't think she'll make the cut. Amazing. Like, Jeff has, like, talked about that, like, they don't cast for archetypes anymore. Like, they simply just put together a group of people that they like. To where, like, I don't think they're going to go out of their way to find, like, oh, we need an older woman on this cast. I don't think they care. I think they're simply just going to get together the people that they want to bring back, and those people will be back. Whether there's, like, an older woman there or not. Oh wait, this is the wrong place again. Think Hunter will be blindsided? Probably, yeah. Either that or get this like it could like win out for a bit and then eventually gets taken out the like I don't know, like final five or something. Okay, I'm going the wrong way again. What the fuck? Need more age diversity? Yeah, how was this season with age diversity? It's not great, right? Who's the oldest person on this cast? Is it Maria? I think Rick Devens will be on 50, yeah. I think of all the pre-New Era people, I think Rick Devens is the biggest lock for 50. Was Randon older? Randon was only like 43 or something, wasn't he? How old is Maria? Yeah, I didn't bother like seeing what the ages were, but I assume Maria was older than Randon. Facebook's gonna give Hunter player of the week because he uses his legs. Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, Hunter is the fan favorite of the season, right? From a casual perspective. Which actually, this is something that I didn't even notice until like someone mentioned on Twitter. But if you look at the casual fan favorite, like despite the diversity mandate and everything, if you look at the casual fan favorites, it's all white people. I like that didn't even click with me until like I literally thought about it. I was like, holy shit, that actually is right. Again, because like 41 was Xander, 42 was Jonathan, 43 was Cody, 44 was Carolyn, 45 is likely Jake, if not Emily. And then now 46, it's Hunter. Yeah, not a good look. Is Venus Parvati 2.0? No, not at all. I don't even know why this is a comparison that's getting brought up, because I don't think there's any similarity. Like, what is the similarity between Parvati and Venus? Maria's also 48? Okay. Yeah, that's about right. I assume Maria was, like, closer to 50. They're pretty? I mean, yeah. But, I mean, they... Like, I think, like, I saw someone mention this, that I think, like, Venus is more like Eliza. And I think that's about right. Like, I would say she's more of, like, Eliza 2.0 than she is Parvati 2.0. Game? Cool. Where are we in stream? Oh, fuck. We're... Okay. Alright, we'll probably end after this cutscene. Not end stream, but, like, move on to Last of Us. Yeah, shit, I didn't realize it was this late in the stream. Holy fuck. Venus could blindside JT, but Parvati can never... Okay. Don't understand why 44 is loved by Project. I understand why. I just don't agree with it. Again, they love it because of the cast. I think they adore that cast. And they loved it sort of Tika 3. Like, I think those are two main reasons. And again, like, I think it... Again, even though I don't like 44, I think it worked on the casuals. Again, seeing Lisa Lauren come out of 44 and saying it's one of her favorite seasons. I think that's like a clear indication of like how the casuals viewed it as well. Or yeah, I think the casuals love Jam Jam, Carolyn, Carson. I think they like love that story and love them winning. Again, getting to the end together, and I think Jam Jam eventually winning. Like, I think, like, again, it's one of the most, like, likable casts, for what that's worth. Again, it's not necessarily what I'm looking for in my reality TV, is, like, the most likable cast. But, like, I get why. Like, they like it. It's not what I'm looking for in Survivor. All right, we'll save here. Fuck me, still only in chapter 4. Uh, but anyway, all right. We'll move on to Last of Us. So, and stream will cut out for a bit, and then it'll be back. So yeah, see you then.